It is time for the hour of power with the Heroic Vibration podcast. On this week episode, we're gonna talk about a little Wonder Woman and a resurrection, or is it reincarnation, or what they got going on? We will find out. And we're gonna be talking about this Jump Force. Man, that might be the fighting game of the year. Mortal Kombat 11, you wasn't shown, but you might gotta watch your bag. You know what I'm saying? If you have any special requests for any topics, hit us up on Twitter. What up with your YouTube and YouTube bust? It's your boy TripleCup Chuck, and I'm up. And you're tuning in to the podcast where we talk about Marvel, DC, comic books, anime, video games, and more. Welcome to our humble abode. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? It's E3 week, so we kind of short this week here. But you know what I'm saying? We short for a good cause because, you know what I'm saying, Bloody, he's all the way out there getting bloody knuckles deep into some E3. You know what I'm saying? Get some behind the scene footage. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be able to see it in the near future because you know how everybody got that special footage they gotta show you. And that's coming real soon. But here for now, you know what I'm saying? We got a whole bunch of breaking news and we just had to come bring this out to y'all. But before we get started with that, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and get into our introduction. Let's start off with the Juggernaut Savage Carter. Go on, introduce yourself and let everybody know where they can find you at.
What up, everybody? This me, this the Savage. You know what I'm saying? You can find me at Savage Carter 225 on Twitter or just Savage Carter on the Xbox. And anybody can hit me up. I'm taking requests again.
Oh, you
That's
taking?
about
Oh,
it.
you say you were breaking up. You said you taking requests again.
Yeah, I'm taking requests again.
Man, hey, you started to remind me of Destiny when they be having their little weekly challenges. Like, yeah, now y'all can come on in.
Oh, I read. That's what I be doing.
Okay,
I
yeah,
gotta, I
okay,
gotta get my stuff out the way. I can't help nobody until I get my stuff out the way.
right. You can't help nobody till you actually be able to help yourself first,
Right.
and that's some wise words. But yeah, let's go ahead and get let's just knock these introductions out the way because man, it's E3. I know people want to hear about everything that's going on because we got both sides of this here gonna be happening tonight. So next up, you know what I'm saying, we got the big homie. You know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just I ain't even got to do none of it. Just go ahead and run it with the track.
Yo, it's the Xbox Ghost Kaleidoscope. Back once again on the Heroic Vibrations podcast, people. And yeah, we get about to get knee deep into some E3 stuff. Shout outs to Intro Media Gaming, Bloody Nux, 100, K Mega, the whole crew, you know what I'm saying? Because they fucking living it up large over there at E3. And yo, I know I saw Bloody earlier in the chat tripping on the first two episodes of Cloak and Dagger, saying how good it was. Well, Bloody, this is how good it was. Cloak and Dagger is Marvel's Cloak and Dagger breaks a ratings record and becomes Freeform's biggest series debut in years. All right, so that's just how much motherfuckers is loving Cloak and Dagger. Damn, I wish I had Freeform.
Man, that I really doubted that show to actually do anything. I was like, I don't want to see that. Now y'all got me on, numbers and talk make you want to check something out. I want to see how.
I was actually feeling it. I got to put that in there. I actually watched it and I felt it. I got to see
Oh,
the
you
next
seen
episode.
it?
Yeah, I watched
Hey,
it.
it's better than
Awesome. What did
Runaway.
you think about it? What did you think
Yeah,
about it? Give us some
it's
feedback, man.
it's
The
way
911.
better than Runaways.
I mean, the 411, my bad.
Um, like the part when they first got introduced to each other, they didn't even
Yeah.
know who each other was. They was
Yep.
children. And when the first time they used their powers, they didn't even know what happened.
Yeah.
They was underwater, both of them about to drown, and it just happened.
Hold up, man. You talking about, man? This is spoiler rific, man. Why the fuck was they underwater? Why was they about to drown, man? Man, tell me,
Yeah,
man.
because in the initial
Oh,
trailer, they showed them as little kids.
Oh,
yeah.
they were like baby kids when
Her
they first
daddy
came.
ran off. Her daddy was on the cell phone in a storm, not paying attention to the road, and ran off the fucking bridge and ended up in the river. And his brother got shot in the chest by a cop, and he dove in the river trying to save him.
Hold up. So they was
Oh
when they was
shit.
trying to get away on a bank robbery or some shit.
No, man, it was so trivial. Like nobody should have even died in that situation. But is in New Orleans, Louisiana, and the way it happened, I can believe it.
Oh man, so hey, that's a goddamn shame. That's all it takes to send me on the show. I'm over here hating on the show now. That's probably one of my second favorite show.
Man, and the fact that one of the first things that show teach you is not to ever trust nobody in that city.
That sounds about right. That sounds exactly right.
Exactly.
Nah, I've been telling people this my whole life, and people still go to New Orleans and do stupid stuff and get robbed. So if you don't want to take my word for it, believe the show.
Yeah, I mean they be listening, and then it makes the head of sometimes. A lot of times it be the women. They weren't gonna send you to the moon, but yeah, man,
that's exactly what it was.
That's why I said I
already know what time she was the one that was robbing people.
Yo, like I said, I know what time it is. I ain't even seen nothing about the show yet. Now I gotta go watch it.
He was a basketball player with trying to deal with life, and she robbing people.
Yeah, that sound about right. That sound exactly right, man. I gotta give a shout out to Lady Infamous, man. You know what I'm saying? That show right now, just that fast, it became fuck wittable.
Basically, his older brother was telling the dudes that
I got to talk about Lady Infamous radio. Quick, though, man. She gave her feedback on Ghost of Tsushima. All right, and she also put it down that that's fuck wittable. All right, so definitely that shit is dope, man. I can't front.
Oh yeah, I think you're
that game. That game, I'm mad about because they made it a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's done by one of their studios, Sucker Punch. So, no, I'm saying so by default, it's their game.
I don't care. I want to play that game.
I feel you.
Yeah, I
want to play that shit too. That shit look dope.
I want to play that game. That's the other game I've been talking about since the other day.
And when he cut that first dude and shit, that dude came at him and said, he just sing. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. I feel that. That's what's up.
Hey, then I was like, oh, it's a one swing thing. Then he ran up to the next person. The dude swung. He kind of dodged like one of Batman dodges, but it went all the way like that. But it was more like the style of the samurai he was fighting. And then they was hitting swords. So when they were swinging, it was like I'm hitting your sword. But as soon as he got a clean lick when he actually hit his body, so the second person was like clean, and it was it. I was like, ooh. So this game more realistic because you be playing game hack and slash, you just No,
you never play
when they get a good lick in, it's over with.
Yeah, as much as I love Soul Calibur is, it's basically a fighting game where you you cut the dude up so many times they don't die. You know what I'm saying? But this one, like you said, they're blocking with the swords, and the minute you get that opening, sting.
Oh, off with your head.
Exactly, off with your head, bro. That shit is so on point.
Yeah, but I think that's it was another almost like a samurai ninja game that they got coming out, but they showed on Xbox stage as well.
Yeah, Sekiro. That was the same thing. Sekiro, the sword slashes and everything, he was blocking all the sword things. So it was a lot of like sword clashing and whatnot. And then once he got an opening hit, that's when you would see the blood flying.
Yeah, it's like a For Honor / Ninja Gaiden.
A friend of mine actually told me that it's actually more action oriented. So, want to know what I felt from the gameplay? This is what I felt, Chuck. It reminded me equal parts Bloodborne, Dark Souls, and Thankyou mixed together. Yeah, it had all those elements, man.
It had a lot of tension in there. You seen the jumping?
Yeah, and they're fucking with the rope shit and all that, man. I used to do that shit in Thankyou Z all the time. But it seemed way more fast-paced, though, which I was definitely digging. Damn, we got some good-ass samurai games coming up.
Yeah, that's what we actually been on. They've been saying about these JRPGs. No, it's these samurai Japanese games that they got coming out now. These are the Japanese type games that I was looking forward to. Now, I play this type of stuff. JRPGs, you know what I'm saying? If that's your type of thing, that's cool.
Oh, I'll go one further, bro. Ghost of Tsushima, from what I heard, he becomes a ninja because he can't keep fighting the samurai way against the Mongols.
No, man.
So I was like, what? I was like, yo, the samurai shit, they got legit. They got that shit down pat.
Let me clear that up. Because I know somebody going to say something. He
All
become a
right.
shinobi. A shinobi and a ninja. A ninja is a shinobi, but a shinobi isn't always a ninja.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. 2 minutes. Yeah, but that made perfect sense. So you know what I'm saying, by him having a
Because
credit.
because with a lot of ninja clans, they had a lot of rogue samurais that was with them. That wasn't ninja.
Mm-hmm.
They were still considered shinobi though,
Mm-hmm.
but they was actually Ronin.
So how you be considered
Oh,
Shinobi?
so that's what it probably is, man. He's probably gonna be a Ronin and shit. Yo, all right. Nah, I feel that shit. I feel that shit, Savage. I can't front. Definitely, that shit makes a lot more sense, dude. Hell yeah.
And how you become a Shinobi,
You got to be actually born to an actual ninja clan.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not everybody wasn't picked to be shinobi. A lot of shinobi, like from the Iga and the Koga, going back to there, it was bloodlines.
Yeah, they were raised that
That's
way.
what basically the legend of Ryu Hayabusa rose from that. For all the Ninja Gaiden fans,
Mm-hmm.
because Ryu Hayabusa was an alias that just about every Iga clan leader used for to hide the real Hayabusa. Well, the real Ryu, his name wasn't even Hayabusa.
Yeah, because Ryu was I about to say it was a real Ryu, but wasn't he
He was an Iga ninja.
right? And didn't he get assassinated too? Assassins?
No, he basically nobody ever found him because nobody actually knew what he looked like.
Oh, so
And
they hit him at the
if every Eagle clan got one Ryu Hayabusa in it, how they gonna ever find the real one? Or even if they did find the real one, they still got somebody that's calling themselves Ryu Hayabusa, and it's always they top ninja.
Man, I'm still tripping on the Ronin aspect. I got flashbacks of Frank Miller's Ronin from the '80s and shit.
mm,
It's like, if you don't know who that is, that's the guy Chuck, the guy that did the Dark Knight Returns in the '80s. Frank Miller was the one that coined that phrase, the Dark Knight, and that series was incredible. If you haven't checked it out, that was some crazy shit. Um, but he did before he did the Dark Knight Returns, he did Ronin for DC Comics, and it was about a samurai that went Ronin,
okay.
went rogue.
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because he the one that was like his they was talking about
They,
that was his
they put
pedigree.
out the cartoons though. They put out the cartoons for that. It was like 2 parts and shit, and they added some new elements and whatnot. But it was all legit. I can't front.
Yeah, I might have to go back and rewatch it. I heard you know what I'm saying, like when when they talk about big directors, they always attach them to their greatest projects. So you know what I'm saying, that's how it
Yeah.
kind of like ring a bell for me. But I never
Well,
seen
I
all
got
of
it.
it.
I got a question for you guys, real quick. AT&T is buying Warner Brothers. All right. So, what do you think is going to go down with the Warner Brothers DC branch?
That
Do you think that'll change anything? Will they still keep continuing as same as always?
I don't think
What?
18 gonna mess with it.
yeah, that don't,
You
I
don't
about
think
to say
they're gonna
that
mess with
don't
that?
sound like
I don't think
AT&T.
they actually gonna mess with it. It's
All
probably
right.
everything gonna
But
probably
but
keep
check
going the
this
same.
out.
That's what I believe.
For for DC Entertainment, the head of DC Entertainment is stepping down. Jeff Johns. He's stepping
Yeah,
down
I heard
to
about that.
become a writer and a producer on films. And the one that's going to take over as head of DC Entertainment is actually Jim Lee. All right, do you know who Jim Lee is?
Who Jim Lee is?
All right. He was like one of the top artists, in years. I mean, he was really big in the '90s and early 2K era. He had done at least Batman Hush for DC Comics. He had done Superman, but when he was with Marvel, he was doing the X-Men. All right. So a lot of that stuff that we seen in the X-Men cartoons, some of that shit was some of the shit he drew. All right. Gambit was one of his creations, Jim Lee. All right, but he left Marvel and eventually went to Image Comics, formed Wildstorm Entertainment. Then after a while, he sold Wildstorm to DC, and then he started working at DC Comics full time. And then, like for example, DC Universe Online, he did all the character designs. He did the character designs for the Arkham series, for the Batman Arkham series. Those are Jim Lee's character designs.
Oh, so he's something serious then.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's actually now the publisher of DC comic books. So now he's actually co-publishing because since he took that ahead of being the head of DC Entertainment, I guess he needs more help. So somebody else is co-publishing, DC Comics while he's the executive board of whatever or the executive CEO for DC Entertainment going forward. So I'm actually more excited for DC now more than anything, seeing that Jeff Johns is taking a writing role. All right, that he's going to be writing a lot of those movies. He's actually going to be writing the Green Lantern Corps, and he's making it with Hal Jordan and John Stewart. He confirmed that. All right, so it's not going to be with Jessica Cruz or any other stuff people was alluding to, at least recently. It's going to be with John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and he's also going to be producing the movie. So I'm actually excited for DC Comics' future. I can't front.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I like the direction DC Comics going right now.
Hell yeah, man! It's like that's a major thing.
I've been waist deep in the comic books.
I can imagine, man.
But he gonna you think he gonna be able to rework all the stuff that they going on, or they gonna have to just take a hard reboot?
No, I'm saying Jim Lee, he's a good ass artist. You know what I'm saying? He's a good ass artist, and he knows how to put things together. He's not necessarily a writer per se, but he knows how to create characters, and he knows how to work with stories. And just like, for example, John Quesada, all right, or Joe Quesada from Marvel. He actually wasn't a great ass writer, but he was an incredible artist, and he ran Marvel for several years as the main publisher. All right, so he was like the executive editor in chief and shit of Marvel and shit, and he put out some incredible titles. All right, it's just you got to be a fan, just like Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige's not really a writer, you know what I'm saying? But he knows what he likes, right?
Right.
And he knows how to bring that to the market. That's what I'm hoping Jim Lee does, because Jim Lee knows what he likes. This is the guy. I don't know if you have ever seen the cartoon Wildcats. Jim Lee created that.
Wildcats for real?
Yeah. Jim Lee created Wildcats, bro. When he went to go work for Image, they was firing on all cylinders at Image because all of Marvel's top brass of artists, they jumped ship, bro. They jumped ship. And then Jim Lee created Wildcats. Rob Liefeld created I forgot the name of that group, man. Youngblood. He created Youngblood. Todd McFarlane created Spawn. I forgot the other dude. I mean, there was a couple of dudes. Oh,
hold up.
Jim Lee also created this dude. He also created this dude.
Todd McFarlane created Spawn? The dude who put in Spawn movie out was the actual creator of Spawn.
Todd McFarlane? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's writing and directing the Spawn movie. Yep.
Yeah, he created Spawn.
Yep.
Okay, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm. And he's not really a writer either, but he's learned over the years how to write. You know what I'm saying? Really good. Because, I mean, he knows how to write to a certain degree. Just Marvel even gave him his own series. Yeah, but he would normally get help from other writers. Like Alan Moore, the creator of The Watchmen, he wrote a couple of issues of Spawn for him. Frank Miller wrote a couple of issues of Spawn for him. Chris Claremont from X-Men fame wrote a couple of issues of Spawn. You know what I'm saying? So Todd McFarlane used to be able to get talent. All right, because he wanted to do his toy line. Remember, he got McFarlane toys and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was basically doing all the character designs and everything at first for the toys. Now he doesn't really have to do shit. Now he just sits back and collects money. Because that shit runs by itself. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's writing and directing the Spawn movie. Huh?
That's like Stan Lee. He ain't got to do nothing else. He just show his face everything. That's it.
Yeah, because he created an empire. He doesn't necessarily get as much money from it, right? Because he's not the actual owner or anything. But you know what I'm saying? McFarlane's a different story. McFarlane's the owner of McFarlane Toys. So that's a major difference right there. Stan Lee gets royalties. Stan Lee gets royalties.
Just there just to show his face.
Yeah, he's just there to show his face, and plus he gets royalties. He gets royalties, but not the same as Jim Lee. Jim Lee got that badass bank account.
Stan Lee, an old man. I don't even think he really want to be running no company no more.
He
like 94, 95, bro.
Man, Stan Lee, he just want to come around and have a good time. That's all he want to do.
Stan Lee pop up in every movie. I really be waiting to see Stan Lee in every Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Everybody
every
does.
Marvel movie. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then we get surprised when they see him in other movies that aren't Marvel, like Deadpool, for instance. Oh shit, Stan Lee.
right. I mean,
But it's
Fox movies.
Marvel, but it's not Marvel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he do.
Hmm.
He popped in Fox movies too. The
Man,
yeah, he was in Spider
how many
Man.
people remember Stan Lee being in the what's that old show?
He was in Spider Man.
Not it was a show
Heroes.
came on Hero.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Heroes.
he was the bus driver. But I guess it's the same bus driver. I guess from Infinity War, right? Because didn't Peter Parker have Stan Lee driving the bus there too?
Oh, it sure did.
No.
I
They
think
do.
about it, he sure did. I mean, he need to start showing up in the TV shows. Now they'll be fired. You
So
know
his
what I'm saying?
school bus driver is his neighbor,
What?
Peter Parker. You remember when Stan Lee was standing outside talking to Aunt May?
Oh, y'all talking about on the anime?
No, in the movie.
The movie.
That was in with Spider Man.
Yeah.
I don't remember that scene though.
I think I remember, but I think I remember that from an anime. But he
No.
appeared in so many of
It was
everything.
on the anime too, but it was happening actually in the movie.
Yeah, he was actually
And
in
he
a
was,
cartoon. Y'all remember
yeah,
the
when
cartoon that
he
came out? Big Hero 6?
Yep.
He was that one of the dudes' fucking dad, man.
Yeah, hey, now that's nice to be, what I'm saying, be known as a legend like that.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's a shame though that Jack Kirby doesn't get the same level of credit though, man. Why? Because he's dead.
I
All
mean,
those
hey,
characters that Stan Lee is credited for and whatnot. If it wasn't for Jack Kirby, them characters wouldn't have been around.
right,
I
yeah,
mean, with the exception of a couple like Spider Man, that was Steve Ditko. He's still around. Know what I'm saying? But like Fantastic Four, X Men, Avengers, Hulk, Iron Man. Come on, all that shit was Jack Kirby. And then Stan Lee really wouldn't write scripts back then. He would just basically tell this dude like a brief synopsis, like, oh well, I think this should happen, and this should happen. And Jack was like, I bet. Motherfucker will go home a week later, he'll turn in a comic book. Yo, here you go. And Stanley used to script whatever art he gave him. That's how they was doing the stories. That's how good Jack Kirby was. This motherfucker was like his mind would just go places.
right. Hey, then speaking about know what I'm saying, rest in peace. But speaking about the dead, let's get into this first topic about the dead. That yeah, that on Wonder Woman 2, that y'all all remember when Chris Pine's Steve Trevor, whatever his name is, Steve Trevor, that he
Yeah.
sacrificed himself and he died in the movie. And then that was on Wonder Woman 1, but now they showing leak footage of he gonna be on Wonder Woman 2. So I want to know what y'all thoughts of, like, we all know that Wonder Woman Woman 2 is set in the 1980s, and the other one was set way back in World War One. So y'all know they can't be the same person, or did they resurrect him, or did he go through a time machine? Or I want to know y'all thoughts and opinions on, what I'm saying, who he is, what role he playing, or what y'all thoughts, what I'm saying, y'all speculations.
All
Let's start
right.
off with,
I could throw my speculation out there right now
yeah,
from the comic books that I've been reading. From what I'm understanding, that Diana have a mental problem. That she imagines stuff that's not there.
Oh shit.
yeah,
Because how many comic books we done read in our lifetime that Wonder Woman have been back to Themyscira?
man, I have no idea.
But you know what I'm talking about. She been back to her homeland in a lot of comic books. She been
Yeah,
back home.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the comic books right now, everything while she ever been home was all a dream. She never been back home.
oh wow, damn, that shit sound depressing as a mother.
When she got exiled, she never went back home.
Oh, so she always dreamed about going back home and her mother
Mm,
forgiving her and all that shit.
never happened.
Damn, that's why she's schizophrenia and and seeing people and talking to dead people and stuff. I mean, that
Well,
made
that's why
perfect sense.
that's why she's so cold, man. She kind of cold hearted in the comic books, bro. She ain't that that
I
lovey
know. I
dovey
mean,
Wonder
she
Woman
not.
that we saw in the
Yeah.
movie. That Wonder Woman had heart. The one in the comic book, she cold, yo.
Depending on which Wonder Woman you dealing with, because different versions are colder than us.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, what was it? Who was the dude that she freaking killed with a sword and shit, man? I'm trying to remember. It was like a big crossover event. Um, was it Lex Luthor? I know she killed somebody with a sword, yo. And she wasn't, man. She was like, man, this dude needs to die. Right? She wasn't like, yo, let's make love and compassion and let's kumbaya by the fire. And hell no. She's like, this motherfucker needs to die.
I mean, she a warrior.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True that, true that, true that.
So yeah, that I mean, to her, she just had war and a battle. So I
No,
mean,
I'm
her
just
I
saying,
mean,
like
trust me,
she is in the
I
comic
prefer
books. They
Gal
got her
Gadot's
imagining
version.
stuff that's not there.
Yeah, I prefer
So
Gal Gadot's version of Wonder Woman versus the comic book version, just to be honest.
you know what I'm saying. So in the comic books, they got her imagining stuff that's not there. So a lot of stuff that's in the comics, we seen it cross over. So I don't know if it's gonna cross over or he actually there. You know what I'm saying? But I can just speak from what I've been reading.
yeah, we just but yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's all we doing. I mean, ain't none of this it's fact that we know exactly what it's gonna be about because they could change it at any moment. So they just our speculation. But yeah, that is a very valid point. Man, they got me thinking. So what about you? What you think the reason why he back, Clouder?
Damn, I can't really be sure. I mean, Savage could be onto something. She might be imagining the whole shit for all we know. You know what I'm saying? But then again, there's always those people that look like other people, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know. It could go whichever way, man. But either way, I'm on board. You know what I'm saying? Gal Gadot is back. Patty Jenkins is back. She's also co-writing. Yeah, I'm there. Fuck it. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying? I know it'll be good. So whatever they want to do with it, shit, fuck it, do it, man. You know
but
what I'm
yeah,
saying? But if Chris Pine is not a ghost or an apparition, even better. You know what I'm saying? Just how they would do it. I give my faith to Patty Jenkins. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause she did that first Wonder Woman movie, and she fought to keep the things to move the way the move. She fought to have the movie released the way she envisioned it, right? Because they wanted to remove some scenes, just like they wanted to remove that no man's land scene in the movie, and that's actually a pivotal part of the movie.
right.
It makes people
That's the
think like,
only
why
part of
the
the
fuck
movie I
would they
remember.
remove the no man's land scene? You know what I'm saying? They add so much to the movie, but yeah, there was actually executives at Warner Brothers that wanted to remove that scene. All right. But she fought to keep it in there. All right. So, and they ended up keeping it in there because if not, she would have walked. She would have literally walked. Like, you know what? This is not what I signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Y'all breaching my contract.
Right.
Right. I'm not your puppet. We signed on and we agreed that I was going to do this. All right. That's a director that sticks to her guns. All right. And to think that she almost directed Thor 2 The Dark World. Can you imagine how much iller that movie would have been if she would have directed that movie? But I guess we'll never find out
Right. Yeah. But
because she didn't do that movie.
yeah, that was I was thinking like, that would have been a good combination for her too. She already
Hell
proved
yeah.
the Wonder Woman.
Matter of fact, Natalie Portman got so pissed off that her and Marvel parted ways that Natalie Portman was sitting on the movie after it released. She ain't like Thor 2 The Dark World.
Mm. But
But
hey,
but
but
what
let's
can
check
you
this
do?
out. Savage was saying, it took a few seconds to make me really think about it. Now, what he was saying that she could be imagining him, but they
Hmm.
could, you know how movies do. They gonna water it down. They ain't gonna make it look like she crazy, like she need help. They gonna make it like what I'm saying. He assisting her and helping her do things that she trying to do. So they gonna make it like it's a cool thing. You know how they water stuff like that down. But like I said in the comic books, they get to the gritty part of it and make it like, okay, look, she actually have mental problems. So people, when you see it on TV on a movie,
So
it's
if
gonna
it
be
was
the same
another
thing.
director, I
It's
might
gonna,
agree
it's gonna
with you.
water it down. Yeah, I'm
If it
starting
was
to see that
another
now.
director, I would agree with you, but not Patty Jenkins. I'm sure she's gonna make that story the way she wants to make it.
And the way she made the first one, it looked like, to me, it seemed like she was more of a fan
Yeah.
of Wonder Woman. So
Yep.
if she's more of a fan of Wonder Woman, it's a possibility she could be in the comic books too.
Mm-hmm.
And she could
So
read that part. Well, I'm just saying,
yeah.
she could look that up and imply that in the story. Like, I mean, how many soldiers go to war? All they come home from war with PTSD,
Yeah.
and she
Exactly.
a
And
warrior. She was born to like.
she won an Oscar already, if I'm not mistaken, for that movie Monster. I don't know if y'all remember that shit. That it was with Charlize Theron, which didn't look like her. I mean, the girl was like overweight, but she was a lesbian, and Christina Ricci was her lover in the movie.
Nah, I ain't never see that.
Dude, she won an Oscar for that movie, bro. All right, that movie was legit. It was some dope ass drama. It was a sick ass drama and shit.
I mean,
And after that, she ain't do nothing else. Know what I'm saying? She's like she could pick and choose whatever she wanted to do. So the next movie that she was gonna do was gonna be the one with Marvel, Thor: The Dark World. But I guess they ain't agree as far as the story's direction. So they parted ways. It wasn't anything, like she hated them or whatever. No, it's like they had a difference of an opinion, basically. You know what I'm saying? They ain't agree on the story, which way the story should go. Now for Warner Brothers, it was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? For Warner Brothers, she already knew more or less the story that she wanted to tell. And they was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do this.
right.
Nah, I just didn't think that she would knock it out the park the way she did. That was, that was something unexpected. All right. Because Monster, as I said, it was a drama. All right. No action, nothing. It was a drama. And this girl knocked it out the park, bro. Anything she wants to do, I'll be like, yo, just fucking wheel that truck back up into her backyard and shit, that dump truck, and dump all the money on her lawn.
Right. In actuality, I trust her more in the direction of leading the whole DCEU. After she do work on this Wonder Woman, then like what I'm saying, mainline it that way. Because I think that'll be a better, a better fit. Just my personal opinion about it.
Yeah. Because we know we would have movies with
I
heart.
totally agree with you because it's too many minds at DC taking all the stories away from where they need to be going, except Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman, the only story that came out where people could actually understand the story with one movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, all the Batman titles, they cool, but what do they make you understand about the next movie? Nothing. They all standalone movies, to tell you the truth. The Dark Knight series, they all standalone movies. Like,
yeah.
Even
they don't even go together.
Yeah, because it's like a couple of years in between each one as well. It's like, they did this one movie, beginning, middle, and then that's it. It finished.
Right. Even
I mean, those movies. Now I see why people call those movies trash. Because I actually sat down and read the Dark Knight series and the comic books, and those movies don't do it no justice.
Thank you, bro. All right, because man, that was one of my biggest critiques about the Dark Knight, bro.
When I read the comic books, it really pissed me off. And Chuck, you know this for a fact. The Dark Knight is my favorite movie.
Right.
When I read those comic books, I really got mad, bro. I'm like, bro, I ain't even know half of the stuff that's in these comic books.
I'm telling you, if they ever decide to do the Dark Knight again, do the Dark Knight Returns, bro, and be as faithful to that comic book as possible. All right, and trust me, that's when you'll have the illest Batman storyline ever fucking told.
I mean, I'm actually reading Batman comic books that came before that storyline that those movies can't touch at all. They shit compared to these comic books.
Yep. I agree, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was never like as big on, the don't get me wrong, the Christopher Nolan movies, what he did something good as far as storytelling, but it was more like a gangster type vibe to it, more like a gangster epic. know what I'm saying, along the lines of a Godfather type series. But he did this with Batman. It's like, what if Batman was actually in our world? All right, fine, cool, cool. I understand that. I understand what you're trying to go for. But as far as like fighting, you know what I'm saying? Batman is brutal when he fights in these comic books. All right. And the only time, even though I can't say this is the best movie either out of the Batman series, but the best representation of Batman was that fight scene in the warehouse in BVS. That warehouse fight scene where Batman fought all those dudes, I was like, you know what? That's Batman. Besides the killing parts, you know what I'm saying? Because he did murk a couple of dudes in that. But the way he was fighting, how violent he was, breaking dudes'
Yeah.
bones, that's fucking Batman, bro. That I was
And
like, wow. I was like, this shit is dope. Besides him, him killing the people, but
I don't
this shit
remember
was dope.
nobody in that comic book series that Batman put his hands on and didn't have to seek medical attention afterwards. I'm talking about serious medical attention.
Yeah,
Like
I'm serious.
he'll
He was
break your arm and your
breaking
leg
dudes,
at the
man.
same time.
Man, hey, that remind me of the Batman when he the one where he had
Not
the
bad. He was doing dudes like the Watchmen in that alley with Night Owl and Miss Jupiter. He was doing dudes like the Watchmen in that scene.
just cracking their ass up. I mean, hey, the
Dude, he was
most brutal.
breaking them.
Hey, look, the most brutal Batman is the Batman the old man Batman when he got the Robin. That's the female girl, and they had is a whole new generation of
Chuck,
criminals.
no, Chuck. You need to go back and read this. Go back
The
to the Dark
Dark
Knight
Knight
series.
Returns.
Go back, G.
Read the Dark Knight
Hey,
Returns, bro.
did y'all see the one I'm talking about?
I know exactly you talking about the old man. I know who you talking about.
When he just sit there and
He
he
brutal, but he
about
not as
every
brutal as
song
this
he had
Batman
body.
for the simple fact that he can't move around he used to.
Yeah,
Right.
it's Batman when
He
he's
done got
50.
old.
When he's like
Yeah.
This
50 years old and shit. He over the
that,
hill.
that's
He
old
was over
Batman.
the
This
hill
is
for
Batman in his prime that's showing no mercy.
But this Batman with a little bit more wisdom, how to break your ass into a million pieces.
Listen to me. This is
Which Batman
Batman
is you
in his
talking
prime
about? Which Batman is you
showing
talking
no
about?
mercy.
He's a
None whatsoever.
old man Batman. The one he got the girl for a Robin.
Oh, you talking about Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah, after he got his back broke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously and whatnot. But yeah, he was brutal as hell too. But there was some good ass storylines though. Batman the Cult was another one that was fucking bugged out. Um,
I
that
watched
Dark
Judas
Knight shit though.
Contract again.
The Judas Contract wasn't that Teen Titans?
Yeah.
That shit was dope though. I can't front
I
that
watched
shit.
that yesterday.
That shit was dope. I mean, I had the original comic books to the Judas Contract, bro. That shit was sick, man. With Deathstroke up in there,
I had to watch it again
man.
because I couldn't remember all the changes they did. Because
Oh, okay.
the animation, it got Blue Beetle and stuff in it. Back
Yeah,
then he
Blue
wasn't part
Beetle
of the
wasn't
team.
back then. He wasn't even out back then, man. And not that version of Blue Beetle was out back then. It was, I think, Ted Cord.
And Ted Card,
Yeah, he was the one that was Blue Beetle. Wasn't
but
even
he was
the Hispanic.
partners with what's his name?
Booster Gold. Booster Gold.
Yeah, that's his name. Booster Gold.
Yeah,
One of
That's
the
freaking
greatest
crazy,
superheroes
man.
ever.
I think Miles
The-
Morales could kick Booster Gold ass though.
Miles Morales?
Yep,
Man.
man. Hey, y'all
Yo, did
must.
we talk about that trailer
You talking
last
about
week?
Spider Man?
Yeah, I about to say y'all must ain't see that new trailer for that Spider Verse, huh?
I seen the new
Yeah, I
trailer,
saw
yo.
it.
That shit was dope.
Hey, so what you think about it?
Dude, sick as hell, man. That shit, they was fine on all cylinders, bro. And then with the Spider Gwen reveal at the end, that he was like, "Dang, how many Spider people is there?" He's like, "Save it for Comic Con." He's like, "What's Comic?" And right there, he pulls him away. Dude, I
Yeah,
was loving the whole aspect, man. The old ass Peter Parker. It seemed like Peter Parker got pulled into this world or something because it's Miles Morales, I guess, explaining it to Peter. It's like, oh, it's kind of like your world, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Then instead of saying Coca-Cola on the on the billboards, it was saying Coca Soda. All right. So I was like, all right, because I know Miles Morales is like, on a different type of Earth, kind of like in DC comic books where they got the
Right.
multiverse.
right.
And just like Spider Gwen, but I guess they're gonna make Spider Gwen part of his world, right? But Spider Gwen was actually from another Earth. All right, so there's like different. That's why they say enter the Spider Verse because they're gonna be showing a lot of Spider characters and shit in this movie. These Spider Verse characters and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if the pig will show up like the way Savage wants it, but You know, there's gonna be. I figure there's gonna be a couple of Spider-Verse characters and shit. I would like if they show Spidey 2099, dude. Fucking
Oh, they
Miguel.
gotta put 2099 in there. It wouldn't even
He's
be a
like-
real. They have to.
I mean, the art
That's why I
style.
don't. That's why I never say him in nothing. Cause like, if you ever make a Spider Verse, he like one of the main characters in the Spider Verse.
Yeah, I know.
One of the top
I know.
four.
That's what I'm saying. It would be dope,
That's
though. Don't
why
get
I
me
never
wrong.
say him because like Miguel, like, come on now.
Nah, I know. I know. Bloody would be fucking over the moon if they added fucking Miguel up into this shit,
I
man.
know
Because he's
better.
like, he's like one of his favorite Spider-Man characters, and I could understand it, dude. He's Mexican, if I'm not mistaken, and shit. Of course, wouldn't you want somebody that's Mexican just like you? Fucking hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'd be tripping to have White Tiger just to come fucking show up in the Netflix series. I'll be tripping. She Puerto Rican. Why not? Shit.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but nah, Miguel Alvarez, or I think his last name was Alvarez, was it? Miguel
I
Alvarez?
think so.
All
I
right.
think so.
If I'm not, post it down in the comments, but that's what I'm thinking anyway. But yeah, he would be fucking dope as hell, man. I remember the last game he was in, or not the last game, it was second to last, Shattered Dimensions, the first one that he popped up in by
Right.
Activision. That was actually a good game that I was like, wow, they got so many different Spider dudes. You know,
Oh,
you got Spider-Man Noir, you
first.
got 2099, you got, you know what I'm saying, regular Amazing Spider-Man. I was like, dude, this was official. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I
then
was
they followed it
playing with
up the following
the
year with a
Cosmic
sequel,
Spider-Man
which
on
was
there.
kind of cool. Then after that, they just ain't come out with them anymore. I'm like, damn, man. It's like, y'all start something good, then y'all just like, fuck it. Whatever. Let's move on.
Some of the Spider-Verse game.
Shattered Dimensions,
Shattered
man.
Dimensions. Yeah,
Personally, they should have done just a 2099 one. That should have been its own game. All right. I mean, I like the concept what they did with Shattered Dimensions, but it should have been its own thing. You know what I'm saying? Just give Miguel his own fucking game. And I think they could have actually elevated that to the next level. But oh well. I mean, we get what we get, right?
yeah. I mean, hey, it's still hope we had got a Black Panther movie, so anything's
I'm
possible.
just saying. I just thought about something.
What?
I hope they don't try to get rid of Miguel and replace him with Miles. I'm gonna be pissed.
Well, I mean, it is Miles's movie.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about far as you know how
No, I
stuff works.
bet you we will see a Miles Morales movie eventually, man. Or Miles
But I'm just
Morales
saying, you know how
DLC or
stuff works.
some
I'm
shit.
just saying, like, we gonna take one away. We gonna give one, but we son gonna take something away.
Oh, okay, yeah, I give
So,
you
like,
that.
the
Sam,
Venom Spider-Man can go. The Ultimate Spider-Man, he can go.
yeah, like the
Yo,
Robert.
Replace him with Miles.
y'all just gave me an idea though, man. Because like Enter the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man, I like the way the trailer came off. It reminded me of some Black Panther shit to a certain degree. I don't know why. I don't know, something about it just screamed that to me, and I enjoyed the aspect that he's half Puerto Rican, all right, because his mom's is Puerto Rican, his dad is black. What they changed though from the comic books is like his dad's background, because his dad, from what I recall, wasn't actually a cop. You know what I'm saying? He was actually a SHIELD agent.
Yeah.
Unless they change that in the future storylines, right? I haven't read all of them and shit, but at least up to where I had read. You know what I'm saying? His dad was actually an ex-SHIELD agent. But that didn't really bother me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, he's a cop. All right, cool. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? There's a Sony picture. But I'm loving the art style. The art style that they went for, I think that shit is legit. And personally, seeing that they're coming out with a Spider-Man game for Sony's console, right? By Insomniac Games. Once they get that game out the way and they do DLC for it and whatnot, I think Insomniac should do the Miles Morales version of stuff Spider-Man with the same art style that they portray in the movie. All right, because Insomniac Games has that Pixar-like quality to their animations. I mean, Sunset Overdrive is one of my favorite games this generation. All right, and to have that type of aesthetic applied to a Spider-Man game featuring Miles Morales with that art style they had on display, I think that could be something serious.
Man, you know they for them they'll be beating the game down. What they probably gonna do is just give us the Venom on the Venom skin and charge you $60 for it.
Nah, man. Think about it. Sony tends to do a lot of standalone DLC things, right?
Yeah,
Even though it is DLC, they'll say it's like, oh, it's basically a standalone because basically it's his own game, like they did with the Uncharted, with the two females and shit, the two female leads, like they did with Second Light on Infamous,
yeah,
old girl and shit.
make it his own little mini game.
Yeah, more or less. I mean,
Yeah.
Microsoft to a certain degree had done that shit last generation with what was it? The spin-off, the DLC, which eventually became a game, ODST. All right, that was supposed to be like a little fucking DLC thing that they wanted to give away, and Microsoft was like, "Yo, this game is huge. This ain't no DLC, man. What the fuck? This is an actual game." You know what I'm saying? So they released an actual game, but I remember I think it was like $40 or something. They ain't even sell it for full price, so it was like $40 and shit. But still, those are standalone DLCs and whatnot. I like that aspect to games, so I'm sure Sony's gonna deliver on that. They ain't just gonna deliver some skins. All right, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think. Yeah, probably like $35 and shit, some shit like that. You know
I'm
what I'm
looking
saying?
at
Which
mine
I think
right
is a
now.
fair deal.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, that's good wishful thinking because they ain't do no real DLC for Sunset Overdrive.
Nah, there wasn't.
But
I mean, well, Sunset Overdrive did have two DLCs. It did.
I don't remember no DLC.
Yeah, I got both of them. I forgot for a second until you mentioned it, but yeah, they got two DLCs for Sunset Overdrive.
So that mean they got good hope for Spider-Man getting some DLC.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure though, man, that they're gonna do some things to add more to it. I wouldn't mind if they do a Venom standalone DLC for Spider-Man. I think that shit would be dope. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be dope to me, but whether that comes to fruition is another matter entirely, right? We don't know
Hey,
what these guys have planned.
but hey, know what I heard about that Spider-Man game from somebody that actually played it? He said that
Yeah.
the way the game worked, like our biggest concern was it was gonna get repetitive. That's everybody's
Yeah.
biggest concern. We played a lot of Spider-Man games, gonna get repetitive. So they were
Yeah.
saying with this game here, they got they got your combinations you do. You got your Batman, with the spider sense, you could duck and dodge,
Yeah,
build
the
up your
Arkham
combos.
Asylum type abilities. Yeah.
Yeah, but then they got this your power bar be at the bottom, and you can fill up 3 power bars. And once you fill out 3 power bars up, just a regular criminal, you could actually when you fighting, you could use like a special move or some type of thing you do, which actually activate a cinematic scene where you actually do some fire stuff like in-game cinematic scene, and it could happen at any given moment. So while you fighting, you'll just do some, once your power bars, you could do some amazing stuff. So they say it could change up like that. And it was like, it got a little build system on it. So that was some of the little key things I
I
heard about
think
the
I may have
Spider-Man game.
seen something like it, at least one of those cinematics you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I saw some of the gameplay walkthrough. All right, I didn't get to see all of it, but I saw the majority of it. And there was this one scene where he was surrounded by a whole bunch of dudes. I'm not sure if it was like 10 or 12 dudes or whatever. He
Yeah.
jumped up in the air and started throwing webbing everywhere. And next thing you know, everybody was webbed up.
Also, he wasn't
All
playing
right.
attention. Yeah, he was
That
building.
I was like, that might be one of the things that you're telling me as far as that power bar, right? So that actually sounds legit. I can't front. And when I saw that scene, I was like, wow, when did he do this? Shit, that's kind of dope.
Oh, and they kind of made it look like a cinematic kind of look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that might have been it. I mean, I ain't see the one you was talking about, but yeah, that's what I've been hearing about the game. So that's actually good news about the Spider-Man with the game, but with how you were saying about the movie, how you were saying about like you like the art style. I mean, I'm more iffy about the art style. It look good, but I'm thinking more like I probably gotta actually get into it. Like when I first glance at it, it don't really catch my attention. But I guess it's like what I'm saying what I get into the actual the feel they trying to give. I think I probably will actually get more into this to the Spider-Man.
And I've seen a lot of people hating on the Spider-Man game just because it's a Sony game. All right, if it would
Oh,
have been multi-plat,
no.
we know the conversation would have been different, bro. We can honestly say we know the conversation would have been different. All right, but yet they're giving it so much slack, like, oh, it's a Spider-Man, yada yada yada, what? Yeah, but is it not the most fluid version of Spider-Man you've ever seen? I mean, we could
Right.
all agree on that, right? It's the
If you want
most
to play
fluid
Spider-Man, that
version
is
of
hands down.
Spider-Man ever.
Hey,
All
then,
right, but it's all good. I
hey,
understand, where they're coming from.
I don't. But hey, look, man, I seen. Hey, look, I seen. They were saying like Spider-Man, like when the scenes that we seen where he was like in a crowd of people. He said that's how the actual crowd of people look when you actually playing the game. So if you were saying you seen him walking down the street and you shot up some people, hey, did it actually have that same cinematic look when they was showing in the first trailer when he was running through the office buildings?
No, I ain't remember seeing that shit in the gameplay. But I have to
Okay.
watch it through because I kept
Yeah, I
going
gotta
from
go back.
video to video. I mean, there was so many videos from the E3 is ridiculous, man. I saw a walkthrough, part of a walkthrough today for Resident Evil 2. I didn't even know that shit had a walkthrough. It was like everything has a walkthrough now. They show a trailer, fine.
Yeah,
That's just the icing. You ain't get to the cake yet. You know what I'm saying? And
right,
then they show you the walkthrough the next day. That you're like, oh, okay, this is what this looks like while you playing it. Okay,
right. That's why
this
they
looks
only
like this.
showed a trailer on E3 stage.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna see the walkthrough anyway. They're gonna
Hey,
show you the
speaking about
walkthrough. They
a
know.
man, you seen that walking simulator game or that Death Stranded? Hey, I thought they couldn't gross me out anymore. And then I get Moon. I was like, oh hell no. Like I don't know what was going on, but the little baby turned around and showed me his ass and then turned around and like he was laughing about it. I don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck.
he's about ready to suck his finger and whatnot. I was like, okay.
Yeah, like man,
No,
that is like what the but I let it go. I let it go. Then I'm like, okay, let's see what this game about. And I'm not just a person that, just talking about it just to talk about it, but it looked like he just carrying sacks back and forth. Like what is that? He shouldn't even show that. If anything, he should have just showed a glimpse of that and just but when he
he looked
showed
like
in
a
different
glorified
scenes,
delivery man that also delivers mummies, I guess. Because at one point during the game, he's actually carrying somebody that's mummified on his back,
oh
or at
yeah,
least wrapped up in wrappings or whatnot. So
right. And the stuff looked like it looked like a game where you just gotta try to creep when something get close to you, you just got to move slower and you got to stop. And then you got to wait for it to move. Then once it leave, you start back creeping along and you get further. You might try to move a little faster. And then all of a sudden something else might be coming along. So you slow back down. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
man,
This
that's what it looked
this ain't
like
on
to me.
some fan. This ain't on no fanboy shit. It's not my cup of tea. It's not for me, man. Know what I'm saying? So to the Hideo Kojima fans out there, more power to you. But this shit, nah, that's not for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to be nice, you know what I'm saying? But, because when I thought of it, that shit was, I don't even
Man,
want to comment, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to be nice today, bro.
that was me trying. And it like,
I
yeah,
ain't being nice.
huh?
I ain't being nice. I won't play that shit.
There you go. That's basically what it is. But hey, one game I did want to play was that Quantum Break 2. No, my bad. Control. Control. Like, yeah, now that's some superpowers. And hey, this I think they're gonna learn from them, their mistakes. And they're gonna actually bring out games more fast. So this hey, people don't think I'm mad about this game because it's a multi-player, but really truly I don't care. They got a game coming out I want to play, I get to play it. That's all I want. I don't care about
Yo, at least
anything
now the
else.
Sony fan base, all right, or the PlayStation fans, they'll
Yeah,
understand why we on the Xbox actually like Remedy games.
right.
They'll understand
Ooh.
why now.
Hey,
You know what
and
I'm
know it might be
saying?
a good move about that on Collider. Check this out. They get their hands on this game here, and get a little taste of it. They be like, damn, I wonder what the Quantum Break was really like. So even then, all of a
Mhm.
sudden, they announced Quantum Break 2. Because Remedy said they could spit games out within 2 years. Now the engine is built. This is proof
Yeah,
right here. This is proof.
yeah.
So when Quantum Break 2, and then so they kind of throw it in the air a little bit just to get you going. Then soon as they announced that Quantum Break 2, now think about it. You played the control game, you be like, you know what? I want to play that Quantum Break now. And then even if you missed out on the first, you can go back to play the first one when the new one come out. I mean, it's genius.
Yeah, definitely it is though. And there's one thing I want to add though, because like I had a my cousin came over today and shit, and he was telling me when he saw that he was like, "Oh shit, Quantum Break, yo, I see a lawsuit coming." You know what I'm saying? Because Remedy supposedly is using this, the quantum break tech and whatnot. And some things were similar to quantum break, but it's not quantum break, people. I'm gonna break it down for you. All right. Old dude in quantum break, all right, actually controls time. All right. It's not the same thing as old girl in control that uses telekinesis. All right. She's more or less like Jean Grey. So she could grab objects with her mind and toss them. All right, just like she could stop bullets in the air from coming at her and toss them somewhere else or whatever, because she used telekinesis. And also, she doesn't have a gun that looks like a gun in her hand, but if you look at the trailer, it doesn't even have a barrel. All right, because guns need a barrel in order for the bullet to come out of. All right, it doesn't have a barrel. All right, so I'm thinking it's something that she uses to channel her telekinesis through in order for her to use her powers. And she could also float and fly from what y'all saw in the trailer. All right. And she could fire things off with that gun. So is it telekinetic shock blast that she's firing at people? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? We will find out in the game. But either way, I know it's gonna be a fucking a psychological thriller. All right, because that's what this dude loves writing. All right, Sam Lake, he loves writing fucking psychological thrillers. He did that shit with Alan Wake, and he went even sci-fi-ish with Quantum Break and shit. And I don't know how all these names seem to rhyme, because even Max Payne, Alan Wake, Quantum Break, and now you got Control. That's the only one that didn't fill the quota as far as the name shit. But yeah, I'm excited for this shit. I'm excited for the PlayStation fans as well as the Xbox fans. I'm excited it was multiplat. When I first saw it on the Sony stage, I was like, what? Remedy? But wait a minute. They said they was going multiplat. All right, so it probably is on Xbox. So I Googled that shit in a heartbeat. Like, damn, let me check. Oh yeah, it's coming. I'm good, it's coming. Because at first, I would have been mad if that shit was exclusive. Literally, I would have been bugged out. I would have been pissed. Yeah. All right, so like I said, I Googled it real quick. I was like, oh, it's multiplat? All right, I'm good.
Right, exactly. Because I'd have been pissed too. Like, man, what the fuck wrong with Microsoft? If they I mean, I don't mind it going multiplayer. Just make sure that we get our shot at it.
Yeah, and if you're a person that owns an Xbox and you've never tried Quantum Break, do yourself a favor and pick it up, man. Game is incredible.
Yeah.
Actually, from people that have only owned PlayStations and have played Quantum Break for the first time, they actually said it was a masterpiece, that they couldn't understand why the ratings, they couldn't understand the ratings that it received in the media. They just couldn't.
I mean, if you got a person that like baseball reviewing basketball and a person that like basketball reviewing baseball, you're going to get odd numbers.
I'm just thinking it's just that fanboy shit that's been going on this generation.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? The ones that reviewed it, they wanted one up the PlayStation, know what I'm saying? So they gave the game like, mediocre reviews and so on and so forth. When if it would have been a PlayStation exclusive, I bet you the reviews would have been a hell of a lot higher, bro. All right, just like we know with Sea of Thieves. If it would have been on a Nintendo Switch, the reviews would have been a hell of a lot higher, all right? Because they tend to be more forgiving when it's on another platform. But yet, when it's on the Xbox platform, things have to reach this high pedestal. All right, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know why, but it's just that's the way it seems like to me, man.
Right.
But well.
That's why people were saying, like, I'm still like the same thing what you were saying. Like they were saying, Sony won E3. I was like, man, I'm sitting there.
No, they didn't. We got to be honest about that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't. Well, I'm not saying they won E3. Let's just say it. This is the way I see it. Microsoft gave their best E3 presentation. They actually killed it this year. All right, this is like the best Microsoft E3 presentation I've ever seen in years, period. And Sony, while they normally tend to generally knock it out the park every year, this was their weakest showing this generation. Let's be honest, it was. You know what I'm saying? The pacing for the show was all off. You know what I'm saying? I was giving it to them saying that they showed 15 games. Somebody corrected me and said, no, they showed about 10. Right? They showed off 10 games. While on Microsoft stage, they showed about 50. And the pace was like, moving at a brisk pace where you wasn't bored at any time during the Microsoft conference. During the PlayStation conference, after they showed the Last of Us trailer, we had that 10-minute downtime with these three dudes talking. They were like, okay, what's
Hey, you
going
can't
on
forget
here?
about the
What is
blue
the,
tab.
what is this? You know what I'm saying? And then when they did show trailers, there wasn't even any preamble or even an introduction as to what they was going to show. A trailer would just pop up on screen. Oh, Resident Evil. Wow. No introduction, nothing. Nobody came out like, oh yeah, we've been working on. Or even when after the trailer leaves, you know how in the Microsoft conference, the dude would come out from the back sometimes, like, oh yeah, this is the dude from from this game, and everybody clapping like, all right. Then the dude says a couple of things, and he's out. It wasn't even that. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying. So even though their pacing was off, they did have some stuff to show, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, out of the 4 games that Sony showed off, I like 3 of them. You know, Death Stranding, I could do without. I'm not a Kojima fan. I'm not. I mean, that game was just blech to me. All right, it's just it wasn't there for me. But and then some of the other things that they showed, like that Destiny Forsaken thing, it's like, all right, it's a slight tease and whatnot. You know, they killed Cade Six, one of the characters from Destiny. But we'll see where that goes. The Black Ops shit, I could have done without that. There was no reason for that shit to be there. You know what I'm saying? Resident Evil, that was dope. There was maybe 1 or 2 other things, but I can't really recall at this moment. But at least Sony's first party titles shined the way they did. So that actually was their saving grace, right? That's that
Yeah.
to me. That was their saving grace during the E3, right? So for this year, I would give it up to Microsoft because they killed it. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing about the show that I didn't like. While the Sony show, there was a few things that I really detested that I just was not feeling. But they still had games to show, and their game shined as well.
Yeah, they pretty much did. But with
Mm,
me, I look at it from a different factor as well. Like
mm.
I look at E3 for to be entertained, number one.
Yeah.
But number two, I look for, let's say, if a game I'm not sure about, don't really know. Maybe so, maybe not. Like Crackdown. I never hear me really talk too much about it. I say I like the
Mm,
cloud stuff like that because I want the game to be successful. Because
mm,
if the cloud get implemented and they do successful, and the cloud get implemented in other stuff like you can see in Battlefield, and then they can have the
mm.
cloud on top, you know what I'm saying, all that destruction, you know what I'm saying, I want that to succeed. So
Yeah, I
I was like,
feel you.
well, but I wasn't really no big Crackdown fan. I'm looking at the game and the art style. I'm like, okay, look, it looked like something I pick up in Game Pass and play for a few minutes or whatever
Oh
like
yeah, it's
that.
gonna be in Game Pass.
But yeah, but I'm just, yeah, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but that's what I was saying. But then this E3 here, when they showed Crackdown, and then all of a sudden Terry on Crews' face turned, and I was like, damn, he looked like Terry Crews. I was like, man. And then I started looking at the background and the scene. I was like, okay, hold up. Now that y'all starting to grab my attention. Now I went from I might play this game, maybe not to Now I'm interested. You got my attention. Then Terry Crews, the way he come and he bringing his game, he really selling the shit out this game. I gotta give it to him.
Well, after you play it, you let me know how it is, because I refuse to buy Crackdown. I bought the first one, it was trash. I played the second one, it was trash. Hell no, I refuse.
Yeah, but hey, this was supposed to have 100%
Like I said, after
destruction.
you play it and tell me what happened.
All right, I got you. Cause
The
they
first
started
one was
selling
actually,
out.
I thought the first one was pretty cool. I never finished it though. There's just so many other games and whatnot, but it was okay. You know what I'm saying? But then again, everybody has their opinions. You know what I'm saying? You're just brutally honest with yours.
But
But I'm
man,
saying,
crack,
but yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take Savage's route. Yo, that Death Stranding, that shit was trash. People, come on, man. Let's be honest, yo. That was Kojima's worst game ever. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
man, no, you not.
Man, it's trash.
That game is horrible. I mean, I'm not.
It is horrible, man. I can't. I couldn't fucking stand.
They better show
Yo,
me
that shit
something.
with the toenails. I'm like, really, really.
They
I
need to
was
show
like,
me some other shit.
man.
That shit.
Like if
I
people
was
can
like,
have
man.
these kind of experiences at their own house, they don't need to be playing a video game about this shit.
Well,
Yeah.
they could just watch a movie. I think Hideo Kojima should be doing movies, yo. Literally.
Horror movies. You know those suspense horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, with you know what I'm saying, or some Saw type shit.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with
yeah, he should be doing some crazy shit like that because
Right.
fucking the beginning of like Metal Gear, the Phantom Pain, I only played like the first couple of hours and shit. That shit has some horror elements in that shit, man. That was like some brutal shit. It's like, man, this motherfucker should be making movies.
Anytime when they was in the hospital.
Yeah, that whole shit with the
Man,
hospital and dudes getting fucked up. I'm like,
man,
what the fuck is this? That
man.
shit had me wildin'.
Hey, then the crazy part with whatever that was, that magical creature,
That
like it came
motherfucker
from
chasing you on
nowhere.
horseback. Yeah.
It just came from nowhere. Like, man, what the hell? And then they had to turn the sprinklers on. Then they had this other one popping up. Like, man, what is going on? And they was talking about him changing his face and cutting off his arm and his leg and all types of stuff. Like, man, it is going extreme with this shit.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Hell yeah.
You
And
know what I'm
then
saying?
killing and people getting shot and guts pop out. Like, yeah.
And it seems like Naughty Dog picked up on that because if you think about it, that Last of Us trailer, that shit was really brutal as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you see that scene where Ellie is gonna kiss her girlfriend, and right there it goes to Ellie stabbing a dude in the neck, and not just once. She pulled it back out and stabbed him again up in that shit. I was like, okay, they going hardcore on this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It kind of it was kind of Tomb Raider-ish, but I still
Yeah, it
liked it. I
had
mean,
some
it was.
Tomb Raider elements with the
I mean,
crouching and whatnot, the way she was coming in and all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, what it kind of the game reminded me of, like, it's like they're taking like the best elements out of certain things and they're making a game and it's actually working because it works good with what they're doing it with. So I mean, I'm not saying to complaining. I'm just saying when I see elements, I'll say, okay, that's some Tomb Raider shit right there. Okay, that's this type of shit. So a lot of people that's get out defensive when a lot when I'm only speaking for myself. When I say something like that, I'm not saying it to be, what I'm saying, what I'm saying, no joke. I'm saying like, okay, that's what's up. I'm seeing this element in here. I'm seeing this element in here. Okay, they got a little bit of, because there was a couple of different games that it kind of like had got pieces for and kind of elevated. And I was looking like, okay, that
Yeah,
worked
I
good
mean, you
together.
can't knock it though. I mean, you could pull elements from any type of game. Because look at what God of War did a couple of months back, right? A month or so back. It
Yeah,
pulled elements from so many different games, but yet it was still God of War. Like even
exactly.
that Ghost of Tsushima game, right? The samurai game. That part where he goes in that barn, right, and comes down from the ceiling. That shit where he had the three dudes that he killed that first dude, and the camera like stopped for
Oh
everybody. He turned
man,
around, highlighted no dude on the side, then highlighted the other dude. That's from the Arkham series. All
yeah,
right. But yet it worked in this game. All right. So you can pull gameplay elements from other things. Call of Duty. Didn't they rip off the Halo fucking power bar? You know what I'm saying? The way Master Chief, regens his health and stuff like that by hiding or whatever, or getting away from the firefight. They picked it up for Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? So, as developers, they tend to grab things that work from other games, right? You know what I'm saying? So basically, the people that created that type of thing, they should feel honored. Just think about Bullet Time. Who did Bullet Time in games? It was Remedy, people, with Max Payne. But how
right,
many games
right.
did we not see Bullet Time? We've seen it in several games. All right? But yet the ones that did it in video game form was actually Remedy Games, the ones that's doing Control. Right? They was the first ones to do it. And I'm sure they feel honored anytime they see a game that's using they was like, oh yeah, we created that. Yeah, we know. You know what I'm saying? Just like Naughty Dog, they're probably happy when somebody uses some of the shit that they did. That it was like, yeah, we charted that course. You know what I'm saying? Or we came up with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't front, man. Each one of these devs and whatnot has their own thing, and they does certain things in order to push video gaming forward, which is cool.
Exactly. I mean, but see, that's what make it good. Like what you were saying, that make you the next person get on top of it, and then the next person get on top of it, and now all of a sudden you're gonna get you a big old sandwich because what I'm saying, everything gonna make, the motor merrier pretty much. But yeah, because I was
Mm.
seeing that, so so pretty much people know that I ain't really just talking shit about no game. I'm saying I like it because I seen other elements in this game that people might not notice, but they had like a shaky cam type thing. So when she was going and she was fighting, and when they grabbed it and they threw her up against the threw it over the ball, whatever like that, like the way the camera
Yeah,
was kind of moving, it's like a shaky camera. Like you kind of control it, but you kind of don't. And the way they were
yeah.
saying it's like dynamic something. Well, they're gonna have it where in a mix of a fight, like different things could happen in different ways. So it ain't like you just
And
seeing
then even if you
turn.
think about the shaky cam, like when he threw over the bar, right, that it shook and whatnot, the way it
Yeah,
was jerking and whatnot. Don't we get that like in Gears when you're roadie running?
right, exactly. Yup, that's
You
the
know what I'm
same
saying? You
thing.
do get a shaky cam when you're roadie running, which makes it feel more intense, but you're not really running that fast. It feels that way, the way they set it up. Okay? Now, this is not the first video game to use shaky cam. but they're using it to elevate a scene, right? To make a scene more intense, which I
Exactly.
can't front, man. It was actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed that.
That was a brutal ass fight scene. The only thing
Mhm.
that made me want to see a little bit more fight scene of is some Tomb Raider. I mean, Lord Craft, you got to get your game up
Well,
now.
did you see the gameplay walkthrough
Nah, I ain't see the
for
walkthrough.
the
I just
Square
see,
Enix conference? That shit was dope, Chuck.
yeah,
That shit was dope as hell,
man.
man.
I love some
She
Tomb
was
Raider.
getting raw and gritty, killing these dudes, man. It seems so fluid the way she was killing the dudes. That shit had me bugging. All right, that trailer that we saw at the Microsoft press conference, like I said, that's just a tease. Because the next day, all these walkthroughs and shit started popping up all over the E3, bro. All right,
Oh
and
wow,
matter of
yeah.
fact, just to point out another game, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Man, I was wondering because I ain't see it on the I ain't see it at E3. I was like, did I go to the bathroom and miss it
No,
or
no, no.
something?
It was at the Ubisoft press conference because it's by Ubisoft.
Right, right.
All right. Did you see the Ubisoft press conference? No, you didn't. Right.
No,
All
no.
right then. All right. So they actually showed it there, and then they actually showed the actual gameplay after they showed the trailer. The trailer looked phenomenal. It was CG though. The trailer was CG, but they actually showed the gameplay, and the gameplay looks legit. All right. It looks up there. All right.
So it's a Ubisoft game.
Yeah, yeah. Beyond Good and Evil too. This shit is legit though, man.
Hey, the
And
Warlock was in there.
I'm gonna just warn everybody about Ubisoft games. If it come out, wait a year and then buy it.
why?
Oh, somebody be broken.
Cause Ubisoft games be fucked up when they first come out.
Assassin's Creed Origins played legit.
Yeah, that's the only one out of all those titles. That was the only one that came out straight.
Shit, what
Dude, I
about
mean, there was a
for
couple of glitches
honor?
on Ghost Recon Wildlands, but after that first week, I ain't seen none.
Shit, no. I was still had see getting glitches in Wildland.
Nah, but I had some glitches at first for the multiplayer and shit,
I ain't
but
had glitch. My
after that
glitches
first
stopped
week,
after the Punisher, not the Punisher. I said the Punisher, the
Predator.
Predator. The Predator DLC came out. After that, that's when it stopped.
oh damn, damn, it sucks to be you. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah,
But
you,
really, I really didn't really have any issues with Wildlands though. But
but
hell no, I would have waited
no,
another
they
year,
got a
man.
they have a
Ubisoft
bad
games
track
is
record.
dope, Savage. I get them shit day one. Like that Assassin's Creed Odyssey, what they're doing with that. That you get the choice from male or female dude and shit. I mean, from male or female, and then the dialogue trees and stuff. I was like, damn, this shit
It was
looks
2 years
official,
for
man.
Honor. It took them a year and a half to fix the division. It took them
For
a year.
Honor's dope though too. I love For Honor. For Honor was my shit last year, man.
Yeah, but the year game came out a year before that, and when it came out, that game was fucked up.
What was fucked up about it?
You couldn't connect as far as fighting
Oh,
online and shit. Like
I
that shit
wasn't
was
fighting
bad connection.
online.
It
I
was
wasn't
bad
fighting
connection.
online.
As far as the
All right.
gameplay, the game itself, as far as fighting the story mode, that was great. But if you was
Yeah.
fighting anything online, you was gonna get kicked.
I had played like the beta. And I enjoyed the beta though, going online fighting people and whatnot. But I really got into that story mode. That shit fucking had me fucking hooked.
I was hooked on playing multiplayer, and every day I was having the same problem until I just got to the point where I just didn't play it no more. Came back
All
to it a
right.
year and a half later. That's when it worked right.
Yeah, it does. It works gloriously now, man. And they actually showed the new DLC for that. They add in the Chinese Dynasty, bro.
Right.
That shit looked dope, man. I was like, trust me, I was feeling this Ubisoft conference like a motherfucker, man. Besides what they show, and Beyond Good and Evil, it's like a single player game. It has nothing to do with the multi. Well, no, it is gonna
The
have some
only thing
multiplayer. Yeah,
that kind of pissed me off about the Live for Honor thing is you introducing 4 new characters from a whole new faction that people who've been playing since the first faction got like unfair advantage. I'm gonna just put it like that.
because of the way the Chinese people fight.
No, I'm talking about. All right, I got a Kensei that I done basically unlocked just about everything on the game with.
Hmm.
Just think about you gotta fight with these people online to get their power levels up. Like
Mm-hmm.
putting a whole new faction in with brand new people. Like a lot of people gonna get pissed off. They gotta fight other people online, and they basically got perfect characters.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking they might do something to fucking balance it out.
yeah, they got
You
to
can't
balance
balance that out unless you playing one on one. It's the only time they balance their game out when you playing one on one. As far as
Because
you playing
I seen some of
squad
you
or
seen the way
multi,
you seen that trailer the way these Chinese dudes was fighting.
yeah, I saw the way they was fighting. It's just the fact of all right. I got I got a player,
Mm-hmm.
my Kensei. Just
Mm-hmm.
about everything on him is maxed all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time they gonna give anybody a fair fight with if I'm playing with them is we got to be playing one on one.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime anything other than that, every epic weapon, every epic piece that I got work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying about the unfair advantage. People are gonna get tired of playing with low level people that they can't fight. Like, all right, basically, I can break through your guard at any time on that game,
Mm-hmm.
unless we playing one on one. I can just break completely through your guard. Who gonna want to fight you if you can't be hurt? That's
I
what I'm
kind of
saying.
feel it to a certain degree.
You adding a whole new faction, so that means they gonna add them to the faction war. So the Vikings been winning for 3 seasons. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm a samurai, but the Vikings been winning.
Yeah, they OP.
You know what I'm saying? Who gonna switch from the winning team to this team?
it.
It just depends. It just depends, man. Because one of the dudes looked at kind of like a big heavy hitter and shit. That big burly dude, that Chinese
I'm
dude
just
with
saying.
like
I'm talking
he had
about
a
the
hammer or
Vikings
something.
team in general. You can use whoever you want. I'm talking about as far as the team. Period. Because you know
Oh, you
you get
know,
to
they got
join a
that
faction.
online stuff. When you online, you get to pick the crew. Like
Yeah,
how Mortal
you get to
Kombat
pick
is, you
what
can pick
faction
the
you in.
fashion you want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and whoever fashion on
Yeah.
top. And if they come out with a new fashion, who gonna leave their old fashion to go to this new fashion? Maybe
The
maybe
Vikings
a lot
come
of
in number
noobs gonna
one
go
because
there.
the Samurai come
Maybe
in
the
number two.
maybe all the Chinese people and shit, man. Who knows?
Or the newbies.
know what I'm saying? Exactly. I mean, I want to get that DLC. I can't front, and I'm actually go with the Chinese faction. Why not? I'll go with the Chinese faction. I'm gonna join the motherfuckers. Motherfuckers' skills look sick, man. I like martial arts, bro. I really do. You know what I'm saying? The samurais was like the highlight of that game for me. The samurai and the knights. The Vikings, those were in last place for me. You know what I'm saying? So it was basically knights. Matter of fact, it was knights, samurai, and then the Vikings. And now with the Chinese there, dude, Chinese just might bump down the fucking Vikings for me, bro. I'm not sure if it'll take out the samurai, but I'll see.
Yeah, I'm
Gotta
going
see how they
Samurai.
play.
Samurai Knights Vikings.
Hey, so out of E3, what game y'all was most excited for? Any of the games that y'all seen that they really
Jump
catch y'all?
Force.
John Force?
Ah, shit.
Jump Force.
And why?
Because I'm an anime fan.
Man, you
All
make it
right.
sound biased.
Well, I'm telling the truth. The man
Yeah,
asked me
he
a
ain't lying.
question, I'm giving him my answer. I'm an anime fan.
Hey, man.
And the fighting clean, I'm going to give it that. And like, I
Mm-hmm.
like the fact that one thing that a lot of Dragon Ball games don't capitalize on is, all right, in the old Dragon Ball series, a lot of times when they was fighting and they got into those little mixes and whoever came out on top normally punched the person they was fighting to another scenery. This the
Yeah.
first time they capitalized on it.
Yeah, exactly. You're not punching the dude to another scenery. You punch the dude into a building and you run up on him and keep whipping his ass.
You know what I'm saying? And
The
everybody, like
environments look more legit.
all the characters, Naruto, Sasuke, Goku, Frieza, Zoro, everybody got the special moves that you can think of. Anything that you can think of in the animes and the mangas, they got like basically is Naruto with Sage of the Six Paths, Nine Tails Chakra Mode. Basically, his most
Mm-hmm.
powerful form. It's basically
Yep.
all of them most powerful form. The only thing I didn't see is Goku go blue.
Okay.
I mean, but they
I
might
I
have.
saw him
feel you
go
on
Super
that.
Saiyan. I saw him go Super Saiyan, but I didn't
Yeah, he
see him
did.
go blue.
Yep, he did
And
go
I
Super
haven't
Saiyan.
seen Vegeta.
That should be something official though, man. They actually like. It seems like Bandai Namco they're pulling no stops to bring this shit to fruition, and in a good way. All right, I like the way it
I even
looked.
seen another anime character that I don't really know much about. Tarak is he basically run around looking for gourmet food or something. He was in. I saw a crossover between him and one. It was Tarak and One Piece. Him and Luffy was running around looking for some kind of crazy exotic food to cook with him and
Yeah, but
Sanji.
it would be so dope though for Jump Force, like because everybody's alluding since it is shown in Jump magazine, right? Their mangas. Everybody's alluding to like One Punch Man. They're saying rumors of Yu-Gi-Oh popping up. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole bunch of different things. They were saying things about Bleach
I
popping up in
mean,
the
but
series as well.
Bleach is a Shonen Jump, so it might be a good chance you might see Ichigo.
Yeah, because a lot of those characters are from Shonen Jump. Yu-Gi-Oh is Shonen Jump, right?
Right.
And so is One Punch Man. So there's so many things so many characters that could pop up, but Bandai Namco doesn't want to reveal their hand yet. They're just saying, stay tuned. We're gonna tease it little by little. All right.
I'm saying,
And
like,
you saw
out of
and
the
you saw
six
that
character
gameplay for
showcase,
Sasuke.
they still haven't shown one of us.
I
One,
know.
you got supposed to be six character showcase, and we only seen five.
Yep. And they did tease on Death Note at the end of the trailer as well, which they said it was going to actually be, it would play majorly into the campaign. So I was like, all right, I wonder what Death Note has to do with the campaign and whatnot. But the graphics looked legit, man.
Well,
Definitely,
you
they
do
looked
know
I was
official.
looking at it.
you do
Yeah.
know that that would kind of bring. I could see that bringing from Death Note bringing Ichigo, bringing the Bleach series into that situation because the thing in Death Note is actually a Soul Reaper.
Mm. Okay, so Shonen Jump is kind of like Marvel in a way, right?
Right.
Okay, that's some trippy shit.
I mean, but I think the Jump Force, I think the story mode is it's gonna be so action packed because I the way the fighting looking on here, it's like they're gonna
I
come
mean, I
straight.
really think it's gonna be more of a fighter than a adventure, but
No. I ain't talking about like no story mode
No,
like that.
no,
I'm talking
he's
about
like a story campaign though. Like I'm thinking more along the lines like of an
campaign.
injustice.
Right,
But
exactly.
once you're done with the campaign, then it's over. Know what I'm saying? It's basically just fighting. That's
right.
what it means by that. Know what I'm saying? Where you get your little fight scenes here and there, and then it goes into the story, and we'll probably find out the story. And once we're done, it's like, oh, you know what? That was actually a good story. So what they need to live up to is like that anime feel and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Deliver a good story that's actually popping, right? So that
Right.
people say, you know what, that actually had a dope ass campaign. Because we always say that after we go through a Mortal Kombat game or Injustice, it's like, you know what, the story was dope as fuck.
Hell yeah. Hey, some shit you enjoy every minute of. Man,
Yeah, exactly.
I can't
The
wait till they
reason
put that
why
in
the reason
depth.
why I like Mortal Kombat campaign so much is because even though they had a story mode, every person had their own individual story.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the main thing I liked about Mortal Kombat. Oh, I always liked about Mortal Kombat.
And I'm hoping that that Bandai Namco follows up on that and does this shit with this game with Jump Force because I would like to have Goku, do his own storyline and whatnot. Same thing with Naruto, the old dude from One
Vegeta.
Piece. Know what I'm saying? All these Vegeta, all these different characters and shit. I want to know what part they play in the story, which I think
Right.
would be dope.
I
Because
mean,
Zoro is like one of my favorite anime characters because he conflicted.
Hmm.
And when I saw the gameplay with him and Sasuke fighting each other, like my two favorite characters in anime fighting each other. Sasuke doing Amaterasu and Zoro hitting him in the face with a 120-pound Phoenix.
Damn.
Hey, so y'all think the fighting style gonna be something similar to like Dragon Ball Fighters?
No, the fighting. I'm thinking the
They
fighting style is going to represent their styles.
Yeah, I'm
right.
talking about like the mechanics though.
The dodging
It's
and all
it,
that.
it
Yeah,
has
to a certain
some of
degree.
the Dragon Ball elements to it, but it also has some of the Naruto elements to it. It's
Yeah,
it's, it's really pulling from all of those games.
Right,
because the Dragon Ball like dodges, they like disappear and appear somewhere else, right? And the
right.
Naruto dodges, a log drops on the floor,
Well,
right? So,
not all the time now. They kind of changed that
uh,
up. Like
all
different like
right.
different clans do different stuff. Like the Uchiha do the log, or they might do the time and space technique, which will look like more like um the instant transmissions
The
type
Dragon
stuff
Ball.
in
All
Dragon
right.
Ball.
Okay.
And I actually seen Sasuke doing his dodges like that, and it was more of the time space and not the log.
Okay. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
because
seen
Naruto is the one that
Naruto.
basically would use the log and shit.
Yeah, and Naruto, when he was dodging, he was mostly dodging like Goku, like basically moving his head around. So I don't know where that whole system gonna go with that. It's just it look different to me. That's why I want to
it,
play it.
it'll be entertaining to find out. That's for sure, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
Because
front.
everybody had their own fighting style, mechanic, different.
And I've been playing a game that's similar to this for like 3 years on my phone. So I finally get it, on the console. I'm want to see that.
I feel you, man. I feel you. And there was a lot of good games that they popped up to C3, but that wasn't my highlight though. It was just too many games and shit. There was a lot of fucking games. I mean, that one blew my mind though. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of games that blew my mind in C3, but my favorite, one that really sang to me, was
Yeah.
Gears of War 5.
Oh, that
All right,
five.
that Gears of War 5, man, that shit sang to me on so many levels. And so even though JD was like the main protagonist in the previous game, the story was really centered around Kate. You know what I'm saying, and her family, and and her mom and all that. So by Kate taking the stage as the central character for this game, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It literally makes sense because the story really revolved around her in the previous game. All right. It's not like they threw all the other characters to the side. We still see JD in the game. We saw Marcus Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? But the most of the storyline is going to center around her. And I'm sure it's going to have the same great multiplayer that it's always had. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, it is an esport, as we all know. But I see that they actually taking more risks with the storyline, with the gameplay itself. So it's going to be like semi-open world, all right? In a linear fashion, more or less like a God of War, all right? But they're letting you explore the environments. That skiff that she was riding on in the trailer, you actually ride that through desert environments and other types of environments, not just on over water, all right? So that's actually pretty cool. Of course, the animation, I can't, the animation is just incredible. I mean, the four was just incredible the way it was animated. This one, it seems like they went one step above that. All right. So I'm really enjoying that. And somebody pointed out actually in Lady Foxfire's video, she said that Tim Dog pointed out that new character, Foz, or, whatever he was called that was in the background, he actually had a customized Lancer. All right. The Lancer was different from any Lancer we've ever seen before. I don't even think it had a chainsaw on it. So it might have been some Gatling gun type Lancer. All right. And there are a few new weapons that you do see in the trailer briefly. But if you're not really looking, you really don't notice. But there are quite a few different weapons in the trailer. All right. So I'm excited to find out what these new weapons are as well. But yeah, that was the one that really stole the show for me, man. During the
Hey, so
Microsoft press conference,
I will
Gears 5.
always, I will always support Gears games.
yeah. Hey, so what you thought about the
Always.
story? What you thought about the story when they were showing like how Kate was mad and she separated from him, and even though he wanted her to stay, but she was like, "I'm going regardless," because I think it was something to do with her dreams and her mom, and was attached to her, and she thinking that what's the black dude name, the his
Dell.
best friend.
Dell.
Yeah, they're like, and how she pulled a gun on him, like trying to portray her, whatever, like that. So they really
Mm-hmm.
diving into a story on this one here. Because when I was looking at it, I was like, man, look like they got an extra story to tell. Because it's like y'all thought we was going toward JD, but this whole time, if you really look at it, like how you were saying, the story followed behind her. Now they breaking off and showing you where her story going. So Gears of War is, you know what I'm saying, is bigger than Marcus Phoenix. So I want to see Gears of War,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
feel
glad
you
they're
on
taking
that,
this
man.
risk.
Even when JD went up to Kate in the beginning, there, it's like, oh, you need to come back. And she's like, well, screw your orders. This is not about you. It's about me. I was like,
Right.
what? I was like, that's what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we saw that JD had his arm infected with something. You know what I'm saying? Because he got mad for a second, then his arm started spazzing out. So I want to know where that goes. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like the story's going to be, I mean, the stories were always family oriented to a certain degree as far as like the way these characters interact with each other. But, you know, it's like they're brawny meatheads and shit with heart. All right. That's what the Gear series is. It's in a nutshell. Brawny meatheads with heart. Um, but I like the way where they're going with the story, though, man. It looks like it's gonna have a lot more layers. All right,
Yeah.
because the stories are
Especially
always good,
part
especially the last one, Gears 4. The story was good, but it's gonna be multi-layered. It's gonna be like an onion. You just got to keep peeling it back and shit to reveal what's inside.
Yeah, man. I didn't want it to be too heartfelt, you know what I'm saying? Because at first, when I first seen it, I was like, "That's JD dead." That was the first thing. Like when I seen that was the first thing popped in my mind. I was like, "Man, no, I'm just getting to know who he is." But kind of find out that was her uncle. So just like little stuff like that. I know they're gonna be tugging at them heartstrings. So I'm already preparing for something major to
Dude,
happen
dude,
on this one.
imagine they'd go. I mean, it's probably out of left field, but who knows? What if Kate dies at the end?
Oh man, that should have break everybody.
Yeah, it would. It would like a motherfucker, man. I'm starting to get fucking choked up a little bit right now just speaking about it. But what if Kate ends up dying at the end of this game, bro?
Hey,
Through the ti-
I'm just saying though, that like wouldn't be far fetched for a Gears of War game.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. You right on the money with that, Savage. It wouldn't be far fetched.
Because everybody that was in Gears died in a fucked up manner.
Yep. That is no, that is so fucking true, man. I
Everybody,
mean, just think about it.
everybody that died in a fucked up manner.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like Dom died so fucked up they didn't even show you.
Well, I mean, he
You
sacrificed
finished
himself.
part one. You finished part one with him, and part two he did.
Well, no, part three.
Yeah, part three he did.
Yeah. And then part two, he's hunting his wife down the whole time. And by the time you find her, she's so fucked up that you're like, dude, really? This is so fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? The shit with his wife, that shit fucked me up, man. I was like, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking we're gonna save this dude's wife and shit. When you get there, she's basically a fucking skeleton corpse or some shit, man. I'm like, man. She wasn't even there, basically. And
damn.
Dom, yeah, he sacrificed himself for everybody and shit. Kind of fucked up, but oh well. I don't know. I really like the Gears saga. All right, I really like the Gears saga, man. And that's why I said that was the highlight of the show for me, man. Say, and want to know what's another thing though that I would say is a highlight? But just because I thought it looked cute, all right? Because that's the only way you could express this. Gears Pop. I would download that shit on my mobile phone. Why not? That shit looked fucking official, man. And that just goes to show how popular Kate is. First they show Marcus Phoenix, then the next character you see on screen is actually Kate and one of the Horde. I was like, oh shit. I was like, you know what? That's what's up.
Yeah, then hey, the way they did it, like it was almost had people troll. Like
Man, I can't even remember how Cole died.
he ain't die, he ain't die.
Who?
Cold Train,
Cole.
No, Coltrane ain't died.
yeah, he ain't dead.
So they just took him out the game.
Oh, he was
Coltrane
in the
showed
last
up. No, Coltrane. He was in a 3, and he also popped up
He was in 4.
in, in Judgment. He popped up in Judgment. There was like a standalone DLC where Coltrane and Baird popped up on that. You know what I'm saying? With old dude from Judgment, the guy that was like with this girl. I forgot her name and shit. But either way, they popped up in that, and then Coltrane and Beard both popped up in Gears 4. But they were older characters, just like Marcus. Matter of fact, Beard was bald in Gears 4.
Yeah, there was some old men by in Gears 4.
And who the other one was? I'm still missing one person. I can't remember who the other person was.
I forgot his name though. He came out in Gears 3. There's a few characters though in Gears though, man. There are a few characters. I just don't recall their names. You got that cowboy looking motherfucker.
Because it was like every Gears at least had one new person. At least one.
Nah, there was way more than one in each Gears.
I'm just saying it was at least one.
Because remember, I can't remember this dude's name, but it was this other black dude.
Gears 2, it introduced two new people.
Jace. Jace was the one that came out in the 3 and shit. All right, it was Jace, and then you also had Sam.
Right.
That Sam and Baird had that thing going back and forth. That
and who
they go up to this point, and they was like, we want the girl. But then he's like, what, y'all got bacon? I'll trade her for some bacon.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, there's a few characters.
I can understand why Gears was yours because of, I mean, it's Gears of War. You know, that's a big highlight.
I want to read the novels, though. I mean, I know there's a few novels and shit on Gears. I actually want to read them, man. Because I've read most of the Halo novels and shit, but I haven't really read any of the Gears novels. But I've been meaning to, man. That shit has a rich lore and tapestry that I really want to tap into.
Yeah, going to find out about cogs when we get off this podcast.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
Yeah, I say, Khalid, I still think Sucker Punch should have been before Phil Spencer's speech, and Gears of War should have been the last of the last thing they showed. That should have been how they closed their doors on Gears. But
you're talking about CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk?
Yeah, Cyberpunk. Yeah.
Nah, I thought they closed it off perfectly, but I understand where you're coming from, though.
Yeah, I mean,
you're looking at it as far as like Microsoft to finish off with one of their titles. Right. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But think about it. They just showed 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 Gears of War games. All right. So that just goes to show how much they believe in this franchise. All right. That they can actually pop off 3 games on 3 different platforms. No, I said on 3 different platforms, on mobile, PC, and Xbox One. I was like, you know what? That's what's up. I can't front on that. I really like the way it closed it out, but I know where you're coming from, though.
Yeah, I mean, probably because I ain't that big of a Cyberpunk fan. So, you know.
Well, I mean, it's a brand new IP. It's a brand new game. So, but what they showed for Cyberpunk was good, but it's actually going to be playing in the first person, though. So it's not like The Witcher, though, where The Witcher you actually see your character in the third person. It's actually going to be a first person gameplay. So everything you're going to be actually seeing in the first person.
Yeah, matter of fact, you might be right because I'm sitting there like, you know, I just still don't see them going last. But if they went last, you know what I'm saying, I'm just not that big. I mean, they make good games, but I just don't think them like a company I see like if Sony would have ended with
want to know why they decided to go with Cyberpunk last? Because it was something new. All right, if I'm not mistaken, you know, last year they ended off with Anthem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something new. You know what I'm saying? So even though Gears 5 was a brand new iteration in the Gears franchise, that was the 5th entry, actually the 6th if you count Judgment, it would have been the next entry though. But this one was something brand new. Right. You know what I'm saying? That caught a lot of people off guard. So I think they ended it perfectly though, man. Especially the way they did that messaging, or like, you know, they tap it into the thing, and Phil was even talking about it today. He said he wasn't sure what they was gonna do at the end. It was just like they told him to roll with it.
Yeah.
All right. So when all that shit was popping up, he was just as surprised as everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I did see something where Phil was saying that he announced 50 games, but when he said that, he had only announced 49 games. It was like there wasn't 50 games, but he thought it was an error. But he said, 50 sound better than 49, so he let it go. Then that's when he heard about the Cyberpunk,
Ah,
and everyone made the 50. I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, they've been having so much stuff going on about E3. It's just like information just steady coming from all different angles. Like they're saying, somebody was saying about they got a new RP, the game that I think it's Playground supposed to be making. It's supposed to be a RPG, but I'm saying I think that's pretty much already known. But they were like
well,
telling
Phil
information,
mentioned it though. He mentioned it. He's like, "Oh, they're working on a brand new open world game." But we'll
right?
talk about that later. So when's later? Later on the C3, Gamescom. When?
Later can mean
Could
anything.
they be doing what Sony does? No, I'm saying that Sony necessarily doesn't show everything during their E3 press conferences because they tend to do multiple shows during the year, and sometimes they save things for other shows. Like Ghost of Tsushima, we found it out during another show last year, right? It wasn't during the E3 last
It
year,
was the
right?
PlayStation event.
Exactly. That's when we actually saw the first things of Ghost of Tsushima. And PlayStation already had done that Paris thing. They had done a Tokyo Game Show. They had done Gamescom. They did a couple of shows, where they would just show a little bit more. And
Yeah.
remember that one
See,
year where,
I found out about that game in when they first did it in Japan, and like I didn't even know what the name of the game was. I was just telling Chuck about it, and I was like, "It's gonna come out eventually."
all right. And which one is that one? The Ghost of Tsushima?
Yep, that's when I didn't know if it was gonna be a PlayStation game or not.
That game was official. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, check this out. I would have to go with Battletoads because they caught me off guard, and that was one of the
But they ain't show anything though, man. I'm
yeah,
glad though
yeah, announced
that they confirmed the rumors, right?
right. They just they get that here you go shut up thing. But but yeah, but now I would have to say actually it was Ghost of Tsushima, the Suicide game. Man,
hmm
that game that game gonna be something serious because I'm a big Ninja Gaiden fan. I mean, they had some I could not beat, but I was too young at the time. But I couldn't beat it. And now
hmm
I'm more wiser. I know how to better preserve stuff and know when to use things. So I think so that's why I say I'm a big fan of those type of games. Them are my JRP not JRPGs, but them are my Japanese games that I like to play
Yeah.
when it be games like that. So when I seen that Ghost game and then the cinematography that they had on it was like amazing. I mean, I was looking at the game like, okay, is you
I might
gonna
go
be
buy a
like
PlayStation.
yeah, no, I mean, I knew it was gonna be for the PlayStation, but it was just
No,
more like,
I'm saying I might go buy a PlayStation just to play that game.
oh yeah, it's
I
gonna be it's
feel
gonna
you.
be one of the ones because it's gonna be that one and Spider Man. I mean, by the time then PlayStation, you probably gonna get one for like maybe $100 something.
Yeah,
Then
hopefully,
it'll be
man.
worth it to play those single player games that we're gonna play one time. Hey,
hmm
that would be worth it.
Yep. And you'll
I
enjoy
seen
it
one.
the whole nine
I
too.
seen one for like $50, close to your house.
Yeah. Oh man, hold up, we gotta talk about one other thing. Man, hold up, we gotta talk about one other thing before we get to the next topic about
What's that?
E3. Man, this DLC for Sea of Thieves. Man, hey, tell me y'all, man, did y'all see that ghost shit they had in there when the whole background just turned red? I was like, man, that shit looks spooky as shit. Man,
Yeah.
that shit that look like, hey, when that DLC come out first thing, when I first was looking at it, I was like, I told you, Delilah. I told you. Every
Wait a
time I
minute.
see it, that's the first thing popped in my mind. I was like, man, I told you, you didn't want to listen to me, man. This game is gonna be something serious. It's gonna build on your watch.
I saw another
Man, that
pirate
shit
game.
there.
I saw those ghost ships that was filled with like skeletons and all that. I was
Nah,
like, all right,
I saw a completely
this is
different pirate game.
this is yeah, I know which one you saw. Skull and Bones by
Yeah, that's
Ubisoft.
it.
All right. But the stuff with with the ships filled with skeletons and all that, I was like, wow, this shit is gonna be roaming the seas. I was like, this looks like it's some shit. It's gonna be on some shit, man.
Yeah. They're gonna be having so much shit going on in the game. You ain't gonna be knowing what's going on. You got a Kraken, gonna be trying to attack you. You're gonna have other players be trying to attack you.
And
Then
I
you got
saw
the
the shark in the
they,
trailer. The shark coming at the ship. I was like, oh shit.
right, you
Yeah.
got the shark coming at you. Then you got ghost shift. Then you got the weather to deal with. Man, talking about adventure. That's what you playing the game for, to have fun and have an adventure. I mean,
Mhm.
if some people I don't understand why your hand got to be held to have fun and enjoy a game. I like just go have some fun. Just you got to be told how to have fun. That's what gets me. Like,
Evidently, I think that's what it is for a lot of these fanboys out there.
yeah,
I guess they don't know the difference between fun and looking at something. You know what I'm
right,
saying? It's like you could look at any type of game and you could instantly know if that game is going to be fun. And then you could instantly know that that game is going to be boring. All right? Because I mean, I can't stand Death Stranding. I still can't. I got to keep saying it over and over again. That should look like trash to me, bro. That's not my cup of tea. But, you know, that game, though, that shit, that has something that I fucking enjoy and like. You know what I'm saying? And it's that fun aspect, that fun factor, right? I mean, back in the days, games like issue in what magazines like GamePro, they would tell you like the graphics and story mechanics, and then they would have like a fourth category, which was the fun factor on how fun it was to play the game.
right,
All right, and that's the thing that's missing from a lot of games nowadays. Everybody's like, I want to be immersed. All right, it's fine. You could be immersed, but have it be fun as well. You know what I'm saying? I like to have fun when I play games. You know what I'm saying? Like Quantum Break, I was immersed in Quantum Break, but I had mad fun playing Quantum Break because of the gameplay. All right, so you can have both, people. It's not just about the immersion.
right. Something to put that smile on your face when you do some amazing ass shit. Like even
Yeah,
in
man.
Spider-Man, think about it. The web slinging, how the dude jumped up and he threw all the webs, or when they had the
Yup.
little fight where he was dodging and he slid between the person's leg, grabbed and flipped him up, threw him in the air, jump back, kick him,
Hmm.
man, doing some shit like that. That's emergent and it's fun because you're doing that and it just
Exactly.
put a big smile on your face. Even with Devil May Cry 5, man, I seen a fight sequence on there. I was like, oh my god, this shit crazy. Man, the dude
Yeah,
was
that shit
swinging, he
was
jumped in
another
there and hit him in
highlight.
the air, backflip, got the swing in his sword, chopping his demon up. He's talking about a demon hunter for hire, and he going around killing all these demons. And the combinations that they was putting together on this game is amazing. I was like, okay, yeah, and it
Hmm.
was like,
Hey,
we got to do
but
something
I'm
next
I'm gonna I'm
generation.
gonna just tell you this: you can't make Devil May Cry without them crazy combinations.
No, we know, we know.
You
Right?
can't.
You saying that
You
bitch?
can't.
How good that bitch is, man?
Cause
Cause
I'm gonna
But
tell you the truth.
everybody's
Marvel
been
versus
feeling for that shit
Capcom
to come
3,
back.
I couldn't play that game without Dante.
Hmm.
I couldn't play that game without Dante. I had to have Dante.
and that ain't
Sure.
Medante on 5. That's a
Oh, I know. I'm just saying,
yeah,
like
because of the
that's
fight
one of my
style.
all-time favorite games. They Devil May Cry. That was one game I can honestly say I picked up and never got bored with. That and another game that played similar to that, Onimusha.
Animusha was pretty cool.
Yeah, but Devil May Cry is something serious.
No, no, definitely, definitely. I like the realistic graphics that they went with. The character designs. They're more in tone with what they did with the reboot for DMC with Ninja Theory. All right, so they were more in tune with that as far as their character designs versus, let's say, Devil May Cry 4 that had a Japanese artist doing the character designs, and it had more of an anime feel quality to it. You know what I'm saying? But Capcom really wants more people to buy the game. Right, so that's why they're going with these more realistic looking characters. Because even though it was Nero in Devil May Cry 5 in the trailer, it sure as fuck didn't look like Nero from fucking Devil May Cry 4.
And the fact
Right?
that a lot of people complained about Street Fighter.
Yeah, ain't Street Fighter? Would you consider that shell shaded?
Nah, Street Fighter's not cell shaded, bro.
Man, I would. I don't know what type of art style is that?
It's I guess it's a different type of shading process.
Yeah.
What cell shaded is Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and that shit looks official.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. Okay.
All right, that shit looks official because they made that shit look better than the anime. The anime pales in comparison. All right,
Yeah,
so yeah, that was a pretty lit trailer as well. I can't front.
yeah, but man, they had some games that really stood out.
As a matter of fact, want to know what was the most shocking thing about the E3? Microsoft saying that they bought 5 new studios, or they got 5 brand new studios. Like they
Man, hey, say
created
somebody,
one.
man, do you know how many people been telling me about that? I was in a little check, you know what I'm saying? My Twitter was going crazy behind this here. Dude was talking about they got 5 studios, but they can't work on nothing now or whatever like that. He talking about that's why Xbox lost. I said, look, simple. They just because you
Well,
just
think
heard
about this. Think about this, though. Think about this, Chuck. Just to answer this briefly, Sony got one game coming out for the rest of the year, Spider-Man.
right,
Microsoft has one game that we
Forza.
know about coming out for the rest of the year, which is Forza Horizon 4. All right, so they each got one coming out. That's it. All the other games come out next year, people.
Right, but he was
And I
talking
know.
about guy that
And
lost.
guess what? What still has not come out yet? The Last Night, that indie game that we saw last year, that should be coming out pretty soon. Another game, Black Desert Online. We know that's going to come out pretty soon as well. All right, that's coming out in the fall. All right, and that's not coming on PlayStation this year. If it comes out next year, fine. But guess what? We get it first this year. All right, so we're gonna have a few things, all right, to play this year, which is dope. While you guys got that one. Now, Dreams, I don't know if that game Dreams is ever gonna come out for the PlayStation 4. They didn't show it at E3. I didn't see it on the show floor, so who knows? Um, but as far as I know, all they got is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
How
that's
about
all they
that?
got.
No, and plus all the multi-plats. There's going to be a lot of good multi-plats. So, I mean, I can't front on that either. You know what I'm saying? We got Red Dead Redemption coming out later on this year. We're going to have fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Battlefield 5. Come on, man. There's games, people. They need to stop with that fanboy shit, yo. That's just some fanboy shit, man.
Just bring
And
up
then think about what these studios are working on. Playground Games is already working on that other open world RPG. They're already working on it. Whether we see some of it this year, who knows? We might see it at a Gamescom or something, or another press conference. All right. Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory has always been working on other things in the background. All right. So who knows if they already had ideas for something else already? Think about how talented Ninja Theory is, Chuck. Their first game was Kung Fu Chaos on the OG Xbox that Microsoft published. Their second game was Heavenly Sword. So look at the leap in quality, right? You know, from Kung Fu Chaos, which is basically like a Super Smash type game, but way better because I thought that shit was dope, to Heavenly Sword, right? And then after Heavenly Sword, they went and they jumped on and did Enslaved, which I thought was sick and nobody gave it the time of day. All
right.
right. And then they went and, by that talent alone, that's when Capcom hired them, right? To do DMC, to reboot Devil May Cry for them. Because Capcom really wanted to reboot Devil May Cry in order to cater more to the Western audience. And they did such a good job at that that informed what Devil May Cry 5 looked like. Because look at the character designs for Devil May Cry 5. It's not Japanese character designs. It's designs catered to a Western audience.
Right, and when they did that, they green lighted them on like 2 years ago to actually make the game that they wanted to make.
Hmm.
They ain't had no restrictions, and when they was making it, they said actually before they even started, they chose to go with that art style and to update the graphics from they were saying from the old school games to this game.
And
They
then,
had to change it. They had to update it. They had to make it when you play it, you know it that's next generation.
dude, Ninja Theory may may end up becoming, I bullshit you not, Microsoft's Naughty Dog. All right? Because what they did with Hellblade on a $10 million budget, people, was ridiculous. All right? Imagine if Hellblade had a big ass budget. Can you imagine what that game would have been? know what I'm saying? But they did this shit on a $10 million budget as an indie title. And they made bank. That out the bank that they made, they donated $100,000 to mental health. All right, so you know that game made bank. And now Microsoft, at least all the studios now that Microsoft has working with them and whatnot, they're free to do whatever comes out their ass. Right? They're not going to have anybody dictating to them what they need to do. All right, so that's the positive I took away from all these studio acquisitions. All right,
That smell like
especially
a new
Ninja. Yeah, dude, and Ninja Theory got crazy talent, yo. They're the ones that spearhead. Think about how fucking creative that Enslaved game was. I really wish people really go pick that up, man. That game was amazing. All right, but all their titles are fucking sang to me. All right, I even liked Heavenly Sword, man. It just sucks that Sony owns the IP because they never did anything with it after the first game. All right, you know, and I'm sure Ninja Theory was wanted. It was catering. There was. I mean, I could imagine they felt it in their bones. They wanted to do a sequel to Heavenly Sword, but the one that could greenlight that was Microsoft. I mean, with Sony, and Sony never gave it the green light.
Right.
So it's kind of trippy that people bang on Microsoft for not greenlighting Sunset Overdrive, right? When it didn't perform to their expectations. Well, same thing happened with Sony and Heavenly Sword. It didn't perform to their expectations. That's why there was never a sequel to Heavenly Sword. No matter how good it looked, no matter how good it played, it just didn't make the numbers. Right? I think it sold like 1.5 million. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even 2 million. But it wasn't enough for Sony to greenlight a sequel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure Sunset Overdrive is around more or less those same numbers. But it wasn't enough for Microsoft to greenlight a sequel.
That we know of so far.
That we know of.
They kept five studios.
A secret.
Yeah, pretty much five. But you know what I'm saying? A lot of people knew they was going to get two
out. Yeah, that was the rumors for Playground Games. Yeah. And somebody even told me that there was like, nah, if that was actually true, because I was actually talking to somebody before the E3 a couple of days before. And I was like, do you think, he's like, what do you think? I was like, well, you know, they might talk about the studio acquisition, like Playground Games is heavily rumored. And he's like, that's not going to happen. I was like, why do you say that's not going to happen? He's like, we would have found out by now. So I say kudos to Microsoft for keeping a lot of these things a secret. And for that fucking mic drop when he mentioned fucking Ninja Theory. You know, a lot of PlayStation fans, they went to Ninja Theory's page saying that they were upset about their decision to go with Microsoft. So they actually put out a video on their channel, because Ninja Theory has a YouTube channel. So they put out a video as to why they decided to go with Microsoft. And the reason they stated was because we got complete creative freedom. Okay? And we're also going to have a publisher that's going to finance whatever vision we have.
You got a Microsoft.
And who wouldn't want to finance the vision that they had when their last vision was Hellblade, and at the European Game Awards or Academy Awards, whatever it was, Academy Game Awards, that shit won 3 BAFTAs. 3, not 1, motherfucking 3, bro. And storytelling was one of them. So that's kind of trippy in and of itself, bro.
Yeah, now imagine they get their hand. They probably been signed, but nobody know how long they've been signed. They might have been working on Joanna Dark under our nose all this time, and we probably don't even know.
For all we know, the initiative might be working on Joanna Dark. That new studio that they created, the studio is based in Santa Monica.
That's the
right.
The dude over made he the one that actually reshaped Tomb Raider.
Yeah, David Gallagher. Yep.
Okay, well, yeah, that would be a better fit.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make a monster team because the devs that are working that area, you got people from Bethesda, Blizzard, Naughty Dog. All these studios are in that small area in Santa Monica, Sony Santa Monica as well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those things are in that same area. And you know they're going to be giving a whole bunch of offers to a lot of these devs. all right, to be able to come to work at an environment where you can do whatever you want to. And supposedly, I'm not sure, I haven't heard Phil coined this phrase, but Randall Thor actually said that Phil would actually, the initiative, they're going to be doing quadruple A games, not triple A, quadruple A games. All right. So, what does that all entail? I don't know, but that just sounds kind of sick to me.
Yeah, yeah. I was hearing about that too, about the quadruple A games. I'm like, first I thought it was a misprint, but I've been hearing a lot of people talking about it. So hey, it must be something that factual that they trying to do. Because he went and got the cream of the crop. They really
Yeah.
went and got the best of the best. And
Yep.
then they put it in the right locations because they moving it around. Like it ain't no it ain't just they ain't just got everything out there and what it is that on Microsoft at the home base? Seattle.
Redmond. Redmond.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
that's a good thing too. They can get some different people in a different vibe,
Nah,
I
but
guess.
what it what's the good thing? Because Phil understands, that you have to create your own library of games, right? An exclusive library that makes people say, "Damn," you know what I'm saying? They got some shit, right? Now, while Microsoft has some bases covered in other genres, that storytelling one is not the one that's at the top of the list, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And with things like the initiative, I love that title though, man. For a studio, dope. Just like the coalition. But the stuff that they're gonna be end up cranking out with the initiative, um, the creators of We Happy Few, Compulsion Games, which is really highly story driven, Ninja Theory, Playground Games. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna be doing some shit that they're gonna be knocking shit out the park. And then think about it. I even heard that they was talking about the next Undead
Scarlet.
Labs game, State of Decay 3. They already greenlit State of Decay 3. That's gonna be a high budgeted triple A game. All
Yeah.
right. So
Hey, you
they
heard about
making the
Scarlet?
next one.
You heard about Scarlet?
Scarlet who?
That's code name Scarlet.
No, what is that?
That's the name. That's the code name for the new Xbox.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
damn, they gave it the code name Scarlet.
code
Oh
name
shit.
Scarlet. I was like, yeah, that's nice right there.
Oh shit.
So
Nah,
that
they
bitch
they
better
ain't
be
playing.
screaming.
What did Phil say when the Xbox One X launched? He's we got our power advantage back. We're never losing it again.
Right from the put out the next. Then they
All right. Because Xbox always had the power advantage, even though some people last generation saying was the PS3 was more powerful. Yeah. The only games that looked good was Sony first party. All the multiplats played better on a 360. And then you compare some of those Sony first party games to games like Gears 3, Gears Judgment, Halo 4. Them shits was up there as far as the graphics department. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say that Halo 4 looked next gen. It didn't look current gen. Right? But you know what I'm saying? That was in that era. I said it was more or less neck and neck last generation. But the generation prior, when the OG Xbox was out, they was destroying the PS2. There was just no competition when it came to graphics. And then
right.
at the beginning of this generation, they made it seem like the PS4 had this giant power advantage over the Xbox One.
When
Over
that
what?
happened.
120 pixels? Really? That's a power advantage? That's not a power advantage, yo. That's a hiccup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but
right, because it's a hiccup because they say it's a power advantage. All right, so what frame rate does Killzone run at? 30 frames per second. The campaign. What frame rate does Halo 5 run at? 60 frames, people. 1080p. What the fuck does Forza Motorsport, any Forza Motorsport, they all run at 60 frames and shit, man. With the exception of the Horizon ones and shit, because that shit's got open worlds and shit, so it's 30 frames. But still, man, it's like I've seen a lot more exclusive Xbox One titles that actually ran 1080 60 versus PlayStation that actually ran 1080p 30. All right, so I wasn't a big power advantage. All right, but Microsoft still corrected shit. They dropped the X, right? Because PlayStation dropped the Pro, which we know really was for VR. Once they dropped the X, dude, that power advantage was huge. You're talking about what? Over 2,000 pixels. We ain't talking about 120 pixels, people. This ain't a hiccup. This is somebody. This is like somebody threw up on somebody's screen.
Yeah, yeah, man. Hey, speaking about that with the power advantage, man. What do y'all think about $2 billion? Man, Infinity War
Yeah.
hit the milestone. They hit a milestone, and people didn't think they was gonna do it. What DC need to learn from them? What the hell they need to learn from them? Hey, so what
How to
y'all
tell a
think about?
story.
Huh?
How to tell a story.
That's their own story too.
They
I'm just throwing
definitely
it
do
out
need
there.
it. I mean, Wonder Woman was a good story though, but what I would say DC needs to learn the most is
That was
world
just
building.
one director.
Yeah, yeah, but DC needs to learn world
Unless
building.
she gonna direct all of the rest of DC movies.
Hmm. I say they need to learn world building. You got to create your universe before you decide to take on a giant crossover, right? So that Justice League movie came out like 10 movies too early. All right. They actually could have waited a little bit to flesh out some of it. Well, not 10 movies too early, but it came out, let's say, a couple of movies too early. Because they should have had Aquaman's movie out already. They should have had The Flash's movie out, Cyborg. They should have had all these different movies out before they did that Justice League movie. All right. So that just goes to show what a little world building can do. Because this is the highest grossing superhero movie of all time. Avengers Infinity War broke the record. The Dark Knight doesn't even come close. They had like what, $1 billion? Come on, these people got twice that. Twice that. All right. And the story was bugged the fuck out from beginning to end. Nobody saw what was coming. I was hoping for the snap. I didn't think they would end on the snap, but I was hoping for it. And they fucking ended with the fucking snap. I was like, what? I was like, these motherfuckers is not playing, bro. They are not fucking playing. Mike Marvel and Kevin Feige, he said, yo, we had 10 years to build up to this shit. And just before this movie even came out, because they knew Wakanda was going to feature in this shit, that's the movie that led into this. The Black Panther movie. And then we go into this. I was like, what? These dudes, they know what they're doing. Basically, anything that Marvel does from here on out, or even before this, though, even before this, I was already a diehard Marvel fan. They could just take my wallet. Just take my wallet, keep it. Know what I'm saying? Give me a lifetime membership. I'm there.
Yeah.
All right, day
They got
one.
some shit called Movie Pass that you pay like $10 a month and go to the movies.
They could just take my wallet, yo. It's like give me that lifetime season pass. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean I feel you on that because that's why the company like that hitting the numbers that they doing, and because of you have it's one thing, they have a fan base that feel like okay, they they don't have to impress you like the woman that did Wonder Woman. Okay, I got faith that you're gonna give me a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying on DC EU, the whole thing, they need to work on that first. That's the main thing they need to work on because a lot of fans is iffy. I mean, you can only get slapped in the face so many times before you duck.
Like I understand they got fans out there that know the story of the Justice League, how the Justice League was built, and they know who's supposed to be on the team. All right, cool. But they got a lot of people. Most people don't.
Right. But that's why they got to deliver a full story, and they got to actually stop having it where they trying to money scheme because by them trying to money scheme, they
It's
actually
like they're trying to play catch up. It's like we want that Avengers money now. No,
right.
Avengers earned their money, bro.
All right, they thinking they got to get it while the pot is hot or some shit. Like it don't work like that.
You got to
Right now,
build your
they're
world first,
behind. They're the
then
best.
motherfuckers will flock to it. If you don't build the world, how the fuck they gonna flock to it?
Yeah, if you build it, they will come.
Exactly.
I mean, because
Right. So
they, I mean, I think they could have did it. They had a good lead off. Like I seen the direction, but they could have all the chopping block stuff. They would have should have did was just came out with the every like how they did the Batman and Superman with the other version on it, what actually made a little bit more sense. You know, they at least should have did that. So by them not even doing that on most of their movies, it kind of leave too many people in too many directions because the directors couldn't really put out their movie because they're trying to make this time thing. But that's why we see the MCU coming out with movies back to back, and they the fan base is just getting bigger and bigger because more and more people is learning about them. More and more people is and trusting that the movie that they bring is going to actually be a good movie, tell a good story, and then if you know what I'm saying, if you deep into the lore, it's going to be they're going to keep it some way true to the lore to actually be able to please this side of the fan base too. So you know what I'm saying, they learn how to hit every angle to catch the the one and done people, the people that just go to the movie just to go to the movies, and how to captivate them to the most hardcore of the hardcores.
exactly. And as a matter of fact, want to know why I think Marvel really has the lead though? Because of the way they're directed, the way their directors and writers work, they're more collaborative. All right, they like all the directors, like when they was doing Black Panther, dudes was checking in with Ryan Coogler on what he was doing with Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? So the guys that was doing Infinity War, they was checking on what Ryan Coogler was doing. So like that would inform them on their telling of T'Challa and the characters that they was gonna add from Black Panther and Infinity War. Just like Ryan Coogler, he had checked on the Russo brothers when they did because they was gonna introduce Black Panther, right? They was gonna introduce T'Challa first. So Ryan Coogler had to be up to date on what they did with T'Challa before he took over, right? That would inform his storytelling. From DC, for what I saw, at least in the past, I can't say going forward, right? Because Jim Lee's now in charge, and he actually works at a comic book company. He's a publisher at DC Comics, so he knows how to get all these writers to make these massive crossovers for comic books. So he has skills at that already. He has that skill set, all right. So he might be able. I'm sure he'll be able to turn the DCEU around. But that's the difference between the old regime at Warner Brothers versus Marvel, right? Because Marvel, all their directors are highly collaborative, and they've worked in the TV environment, like the directors for the Avengers movie, Infinity War. That's the Russo brothers, all right? They worked on TV dramas, all right? Or not dramas, comedies. They've done Community, episodes of Community and stuff like that, where they had an ensemble cast, just like Avengers. It's an ensemble
Didn't they
cast.
get famous doing TV shows?
Yeah. And then Josh Whedon, same thing. He used to do ensemble shows from Buffy to Vampire Slayer. How many characters did Buffy had? That shit was like another comic book, which it is a comic book now running. Yeah, exactly. And then Firefly is like all ensemble cast.
Angel was a whole show that came out from Buffy.
Buffy, exactly, with a whole different set of characters as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Marvel tends to get directors that are used to telling these stories with giant ensemble casts with TV backgrounds and whatnot, because they know how to tell stories featuring all types of characters, not like a story that'll come out
episodes.
Yeah, not like, let's say, some of the X-Men movies, the older X-Men movies, not the Bryan Singer ones, where you would have all these X-Men in it, but everybody was like background clutter. You know what I'm saying? As much as people say, "Oh, Days of Future Past is the best X-Men movie," really, it was. Analyze that movie right, and then come back and talk to me and whatnot. Because all those dudes that they showed in the future, I think only one of them talked. All right, Bishop said a couple of lines, and that was it. We ain't hear shit from T-Hawk. We ain't hear shit from Sunspot, which I don't know how the fuck that was Sunspot, because that's not Sunspot's power set. That may as well have been fucking I don't know, some dude that throws flames. Huh?
I thought that was Sunfire.
That's the thing, but Sunfire is Asian. He's Japanese. That dude wasn't Japanese. He looked Hispanic.
Oh, he's Hispanic now.
But it wasn't Sunfire, because in the interview and the creating for the thing, this dude, Bryan Singer, says that's Sunspot. And in the credits, it says Sunspot. And we know Sunspot is from the New Mutants.
And Sunspot,
I know that was Sunfire's power set. Trust me, I know that. And I'm like, wow, how the fuck is this Sunspot? Like, if he would have said Sunfire, I would have swallowed it. But then even Sunfire, or Sunspot, whatever the fuck they called him, he ain't say shit. Then they had Blinks, one of my favorite X-Men characters. She ain't say one fucking word in the movie. I mean, her power set was dope, but there was just background clutter.
And if it was if that was supposed to be Sunfire known for talking shit, Blink known for talking shit.
Exactly, dude. Know what I'm saying? I mean, but if it would have been a Marvel movie, those characters would have been fleshed out.
If you watch The Gifted, that's Sunfire that's in The Gifted.
Right.
And he's Hispanic now. And he talks shit.
And all day long.
Yeah, man. But no, I'm not saying the movie wasn't a good movie. It was an incredible movie. Days of Future Past is one of my favorite X-Men movies. It's up there. It's up there. But if you analyze it right critically, there was a lot of characters that was just basically window dressing. Right? That's a better word for it, right? They were basically window dressing. I know a lot of characters window dressing. Nightcrawler in the last movie, Age of Apocalypse, whatever the fuck it was called, X-Men Apocalypse. Nightcrawler was window dressing as well. He ain't do shit in the whole fucking movie. I'm like, why the fuck is he here?
Man, I really thought they had an extended version. I was like, it's no way possible they could have been doing it. Cause you saying you liked the movie? That movie wasn't that good.
Which one?
Days of Future Past was okay. There's more than this. Apocalypse, that was a little underwhelming. Really underwhelming. They ain't even had no fight scenes. Underwhelming.
The only one that was good, they cut it short, which was the Psylocke fight scene.
Yeah. That was a partial fight. That was some shit on the TV network.
Most of the fight scene that they filmed stayed on the cutting room floor, bro. All right, the actress that played it, Olivia Munn, she was mad.
The day
she
went 2
months of training just to do this scene, and then they fucking cut like 5 minutes out the scene. She was like, "What?"
Oh, so they cut a lot of fighting scenes out.
Yeah, Bryan Singer cut out a lot of the fight scenes. I was like, "Yo, y'all need to fire this motherfucker like yesterday."
Yeah, that is crazy. That's what you gotta have the fight scenes for it to be an action movie.
Exactly, but it seems like he wants to make superhero dramas. You want to do a superhero drama, go to HBO.
Right, yeah. For the big screen, you got to bring all 3 elements. You got to have a fun factor. You got to have a drama.
Hit me up.
And you got to have a...
Did you ever get a chance to see Deadpool?
Nope. Man, I've been wanting to go see it, but I can't.
Blasphemy, bro. Blasphemy.
Man, it is. I just ain't, my timing ain't right. I was like, oh man. And every time I say I'm going to go, it just ain't never gonna happen. So if I get hit with the day, it's been over a month now. So if I get hit with
you don't know what you're missing, bro.
I could imagine it's Deadpool, man. I want to see it. It's like one of the best ones that you want to check out, but I just gotta it's that time, you know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta have everything in line to do stuff these days.
Yep, definitely, man. Did we ever spoil Deadpool? Did we ever go spoilerific on Deadpool? We should do that now, just to fuck with you.
Just go ahead and get it over with, huh? Let's just say that for the next episode. Y'all got y'all got any final thoughts before we get ready to get up out of here?
I'm good.
Yeah,
me?
We've been doing this shit for about 2 hours.
Good shit. Me? I'm actually gonna go back to watching Iron Fist. That's what I was watching before we started this. I love Iron Fist though. I don't know. There's something about Iron Fist that I really, really dig, man. And I don't really rewatch most of the Netflix shows, at least the Marvel ones. You know what I'm saying? But Iron Fist, shit, something about it, bro. I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. I enjoyed it.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, the Easter egg dropping me or dropping a jewel for the night, just to let everybody know, you know what I'm saying? Just a good movie to see. Unloaded. I mean uploaded. Uploaded just came out. Yeah. That's gonna be the
On
next movie this
Netflix?
century. Huh?
Uploaded came out on what, Netflix? What
I don't
is it?
know. It actually came out at the movie theaters. Came out
Oh,
about
okay.
yeah, about a week now. It's been out for about a week now. Anyway though. Well, go ahead and get us up out of here. You know what I'm saying? We gonna jump for some things. And I might go play me a fight or something. You know, the fight I'm talking about.
Yeah,
All
you
right, that's
going
what's
to
up.
play fight night.
Yup, exactly.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right. Yo, it's been real. So everybody, well, just tune in next week, man. Same YouTube channel, same YouTube channel. We out
Yeah.
here.